Perfect.
We survived the weekend.
Y'all, I cannot begin to tell you.
I don't even know.
McKinley, now you know.
I would like to state, and we'll probably keep saying it in case people join in as it's happening. We don't want anyone to go leave this hotel bad reviews.
No.
That's not the goal of the story. And the reason being is that, like, I don't think that they are, like, homophobic or, like, bad people. No. They just should not be hotel owners.
It's a terrible hotel. And what I'd also...
You want people to see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just getting it queued up first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. Do it spooky. We're having scary time. Yeah. Scary.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So I would like to just start by saying...
Step 1.
We're not looking for anyone to go shit on them.
Step 1, please no one go shit on this hotel. We're not going to say the name of it. You may already know the name of it. We won't be saying it again.
I think in theory you could still look at our story.
It is the one we had the ad for, Riley. It certainly is.
It is. We're still supposed to do another ad for them.
I'm literally going to email them and say, under no circumstances do I feel comfortable recommending their hotel to anyone in the world, not even my worst enemy.
Mythos magic.
We didn't, Murphy. We didn't get paid.
So here's kind of the thing, and we say this in our influencer video, which we haven't posted yet, but we are working on for the month of June.
It's like a YouTube that's going to probably end up being like a fucking hour, but it's going to be all the things that we did that were influencer-y for the month of June, because we were super overbooked because we had a bunch of Pride stuff. Yes.
Okay. So what we've done, also, like, if you were here for us, doing Freshly Frosted, like, we didn't get paid for that either.
Right.
And we had a lovely time playing. We play it off stream because it's a good game.
It's a great game.
But usually when we're doing, like, some type of influencing for the first time, we usually haven't charged.
Yes.
So that we can later say, like, okay, here's an example of what this looks like. So the next time another game comes up to us.
Exactly.
And says, will you play our game, like, as an ad?
We can say,
here's an example of us doing that for Freshly Frosted.
This is what this looked like. This is the kind
how
of
much
thing
we can charge.
Right. And the other thing about Freshly Frosted, I'd like to say, is that they are literally like an indie game developer team, right?
So and like the type of game it is, like cute puzzle, is exactly our brand.
Something that we like, something that our followers would like, something that's like, it's mutually beneficial for us to have this game for free, for us to be able to play it. Please, Roscoe.
So anyway, no, we did not get paid, but we were okay with that because we were like, okay, like, you know, it'll be a nice weekend away. Like, basically, they were paying for our stay and for us to do this event that they were hosting, which I'll get to in a minute.
And they were paying, which means that it was free. Like, which means that we weren't having to pay for it.
I think the other thing that's, like, different from other influencers that we know is that we worked at Disney World, and so we do know that, like, it's not like they are losing $700.
No.
We know that it actually costs them nothing.
$0, yeah.
When you already own the thing,
right?
When it's like a service,
right,
or like a, like when you're like a company. Obviously, if it's like one person.
Oh God, yeah.
Like if one person was giving us a free haircut, I do think it's worth the $50 or whatever.
Tip them. We would, you know what I mean? Like that's
but like
different.
When it's like Disney World's going to be open anyway, so it costs them $0 to give you a comp.
Right. It might, and for this hotel. Yeah.
The hotel was going to be open anyway.
Exactly.
That room was empty already.
Right. It wasn't like they were fully booked and we took somebody else's spot. Like, that wasn't the circumstances. So what we had heard initially from this company, we had been emailed by their marketing team person who is queer, who uses they, them pronouns, who genuinely was lovely. Mm-hmm. I'd like to reiterate that a couple of times. Essentially, the email that we got from them was, hey, like oh my God, I love him, he's beautiful. They were like, hey, you know, this is our hotel. It is woman-owned and run. Let me smack this man. Why can't I smack him?
Gone.
God damn it. It's women owned and run. They said inclusive, which I thought meant like queer also, and I was mistaken. And it's not that they were homophobic, but like no one queer.
They weren't homo-friendly.
They
thought they were homo-friendly.
Right.
We'll get to
they
that.
misgendered me a lot, but again, we'll get there. So essentially, this email back and forth is them being like, hey, we have this event. It's in celebration of the anniversary of marriage equality. Like, you know, we'll let you guys, you know, you guys could stay in the hotel. Like, what are your thoughts? And I was like, oh, okay, cute. Like, this sounds fun. And when I first told Morgan, I was like, hey, I'm kind of considering us just doing this for free so we can have like a fun little weekend away, because otherwise we'd have to pay for a hotel room, right?
Because
like,
we knew that, like, I was quitting my job.
Right.
And Phoebe was like, I don't know, like, if we're going to be able to do, like, a fun weekend away.
Exactly. I was like, I don't know when we're going to have an opportunity sometime soon to stay somewhere for free and do something fun. So, like, we may as well. Like, I know we're going to have to pay for food and for, like, gas or whatever. But, like, that's all right.
But, like, how do you feel? It's one night away, like, 3 hours from here. And I was like, I wasn't super into it, but I was like, no, I'm seeing the benefits.
Right.
Okay,
and
let's
I was like, what's the worst that could happen?
Idiot.
Day one, we should have known. Goofy. So this, thank you, Murphy. So conceptually, this event, which I had a really hard time finding anything on the internet about it, which in retrospect is making some sense. But at the time, they were essentially like, oh, it's like a marriage ceremony / vow renewal /
a mass wedding ceremony / vow renewal.
It's going to be a bunch of couples. They were like, do you guys want to get married? And we're like, oh, we're married, which was like the first sort of like, oh, they don't know us.
Like pink flag.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to know us to pay us or to give us something for free.
Also, we didn't know, like when people reach out to us for working with them, sometimes it's that they actually know our content.
Right.
And we're like, oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry, Bard's Lament.
It's because we turned it up so much for
I appreciate you. Oh my god, yeah, we had to keep it super loud for Little Nightmares. Is that better, team? Okay, perfect. This is not a cult thing. Not a cult thing.
So
just a terrible hotel.
So sometimes they
No. Oh god, Emmy, no. No. This is like just the worst planned event I've ever been to.
They make it seem like they make it seem like they've done it before or like maybe annually.
Right. They said like we did it in 2016, like
and we're like, okay, like maybe they haven't done it the past couple years because of the pandemic, but like they've done this before.
Right.
There will be like a bunch of couples there either getting married or renewing their vows on this beautiful beach. There's going to be like food and like drinks. Like, you know, were you interested in doing this? And Phoebe was like, we're already married.
Right.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So, like, just because someone doesn't know our content doesn't mean that, like, they're bad or that they...
No, God, no.
Like, sometimes a middleman reaches out to us because the middleman got our information from someone else who had a good time working with us and says, like, here's, you know, some influencers you might want to work with.
Yeah, whatever.
So, like, they don't have to know us. That's what I'm saying, basically. So they kind of are describing it, and Phoebe's like, okay, we're already married, so no, we're not really interested. And then they're like, oh, well, we do vow renewals too. Like, did you guys want to renew your vows? And Phoebe's like, not really, but like...
We just got married, but like, we'll go to the event if you guys want to like, essentially like sponsor a spot for us.
Yeah,
like, we'll
so
totally
Phoebe sends like our media kit saying like, this is how much we would charge just to like post about it, do like an ad for it beforehand, because we're thinking they want to like generate buzz before this event.
About this event, right? So,
and then Phoebe's like, or if you want, like, we can go to the actual thing and basically post like a reel after the fact. Yeah. Saying like, hey, like this is what we did. Like maybe you should show up next year.
Right. And I'm like, we could do that for a reduced price, essentially. For as I would like to say, at no point did I say we'll do this for free. They offered later for us to do it for free, and I was like, whatever, fuck it, like, let's do it. It doesn't really matter. That's fine.
So,
oh my god.
They come back and they're like, how about we pay for you to do the event, which is $400 per couple. And also we'll give you a free night in the hotel. By the way, the $400 they were charging people who were doing the event does not include any nights in the hotel.
It includes 20% off of 2 nights at the hotel, which is a terrible...
That's another pink flag.
Which, again, I didn't realize at the time. Did not realize at the time.
So, anyway, so we're like, okay, like, you know, finally we come to an agreement where they're like, we'll sponsor your spot and we'll give you a night for free if you do 3 Instagram stories per day, which is like super normal. We would post those kind of anyway.
Yeah.
And then
a reel.
And then a reel. And we're like, okay, cool. So,
and what I would like to say, fully transparently, just to be clear, when we do like an Instagram like story, like 3 story pages, like, and it's like essentially like one post, but it's like 3 different, you know, like click-throughs. That for a brand, if it's like Amazon or like a big brand, it's $500
per story.
It's $500 for the 3. Does that make sense?
Oh, it is.
That is all it is.
I think it should be more.
That is all it is, and other people charge way more, and so I know that is going to sound bonkers expensive, but it's so we don't have to do it very often. It's so we can say, this is how much it costs. Because I don't like the
stories as much.
No, I don't like to do
People
them.
don't actually watch them. We don't get to be as creative.
And for us to do a reel, it's $600 because we have much less of a following on Instagram.
Yeah, we only have 18,000 followers on Instagram.
On TikTok, a post is anywhere between, depending on how many people that you follow, depending on how many
followers you have?
No, sorry. Depending on how big your company is, we either say between essentially like 1,000 and like 3,000, depending on how big the company is. And if it's someone who's a small business, the number's much smaller than that.
Yeah.
If it's a product that we want, right?
So like we do ads for Honey's Blowtorch literally in exchange for product.
Oh God, yeah.
Because we love Honey's Blowtorch. The clothes are made well.
Right.
We actually want them.
Right.
And like, she is a small business that's just her.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we'll do it in exchange, like, you know, it just kind of depends. Anyway.
But essentially what the brands are paying for is to take up brain space in the minds of our following, and we take that really seriously.
Also, the reason that, like, and we, like, are on the much lower end of, like, what influencers typically charge, and the reason is because, like, if you think about, like, how much companies spend on, like, a billboard, it's, like, thousands and thousands of dollars, and just every person who drives past will see it. Right. Whereas if like people are paying for like our followers to see it, they are like getting a much more niche group.
They're getting between 18 and like 50-year-olds, primarily between probably like 24 and 36. Most of them are queer. A lot of them are plus size. Like
a lot of them are trans.
You're getting
like
they're
getting a much more like niche group.
Yes, exactly. Which is sometimes what people want, depending. What? Bethany?
Hey, Bethany, you okay?
What's going on? Do you need help? So how are they hacking your PayPal?
I love a sliding scale.
Oh my God.
DJB squared, exactly. Like, we have influencer friends who charge like $5,000 for a 30-second TikTok because they know that they can.
Because they can't, and that's totally fine. And to be honest, like, we're not really out here. We're out here trying to exist under late-stage capitalism, and we are anti-capitalists. And so if there are big companies that are, like, such as Neutrogena, who are able to pay us $3,000,
so when you guys see us doing ads for things like Schmamazon, just know that we're getting paid very well.
Yes.
And when we're doing ads for, like, small businesses, it is usually in exchange for product that we want.
Yes, absolutely.
All that to say, like, we didn't charge them.
No.
Because we thought we were doing what we do, which is like influencing and talking about a product in exchange for a product that was worth anything.
Yes.
And that we would want.
Yes.
And had we known anything about the hotel other than their website, which is on us, all we did was look at their website. Yes. And obviously the best reviews are going to be on the website. And the best pictures are going to be on the website. Mm-hmm. Anyway. All of that to say, like, we thought we were going to have a nice time away one night.
Yes.
So, before we even get to the hotel.
Hi, Tony. Hello.
Before we even get to the hotel,
Claire, the kind of thing that's nice is that we get paid beforehand. It has nothing to do with any
we don't get
interaction
paid
that y'all
beforehand.
have. No, sorry. But
we usually get paid like 2 months later.
It's an agreement that we have with them. So essentially your interaction on stories specifically, fully irrelevant. But for like
the
pictures,
best
for
thing
likes and things.
If you ever wanted to help us without like the best thing that happens besides people just like actually subscribing or just like sending us money as like a tip, genuinely what we need the most of, as all influencers need the most of, is people interacting with like
static
videos. So like anytime you guys comment, anytime you guys like it or save
it's super helpful.
It's boosting the like algorithm, and so companies can see like how good our interaction numbers are,
exactly.
and that's what you get paid based off of, like that, or that's how you like come up with the numbers to charge.
Right. Which again, we're also going to talk all about this in like the YouTube video.
Yes. Anyway, so
that is relevant.
Before we even get to the hotel, so this is like maybe a week before. The person who is the marketing manager emails us.
Super nice. Use
and
them
says, they're like, hey, like, our floral arranger, like, has come up with a new deal if you guys are interested. And we're, like, looking at each other, and we were like, why did they send this to us? We don't want any floral arrangements.
Also, they didn't list, like, what the price was or anything.
They sent us a PDF of the business card. And we were like,
of people who, to be clear, we didn't ever even see at the event.
Yes.
Like, that wasn't the people who did the florals.
But yes.
Yes.
And so we're like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
We're already married. We're twice married, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's cool. Don't stress it. So we're like, okay. And again, like, we're just kind of like, all right.
But also, I was like, maybe they sent this to everyone. Maybe they have like a massive list.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I have no idea.
Of like all the, because I haven't run an event like this. So I was like, maybe they have like a huge list and they're just like basically copying and pasting the same email.
Right.
To all the people.
Because how would we know?
Whatever. Then a few days before the event, a different person, the event manager, messages us and says like, just so you guys know, like we will be meeting you in the gathering space at 3:15.
And they didn't say what that was.
No.
At all.
Also,
and
like,
we've
it's
never been there.
Gathering space isn't like lobby. Like, there are hotel words. Like,
right.
Lobby, conference room.
And to be clear,
ballroom,
we're
maybe.
going to drive there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, this is in Washington. And in Washington. It is not near to us. So, like, it is kind of information that we needed to know of, like, what was going on. I don't know if it's clear, but I'm making the hotel. Is what I'm doing.
Oh.
This is the energy.
Perfect.
But anyway.
So they're like, we're going to meet at the gathering space at 3:15, then we're all going to walk down to the beach together.
Right.
And we're like, okay. And I feel like the phrase, we're all going to walk down to the beach together, makes it seem like there's a group of people going.
That's what you would think.
You would think
that
that's
is what you
means.
might think.
So,
no, literally driving 3 hours in this economy, exactly, Bards Lament.
So we were losing money doing this, but we
Exactly.
were hoping, again, that we could use it to leverage in the future someone paying us to stay at their hotel.
Right.
To do an ad. Anyway,
Yes,
so
yes.
so we're like, okay, cool, 3:15 sounds good. So they're like, let me know if you have any other questions. So I respond, like, I will say, like, maybe the next morning, because she sent it, like, in the afternoon. This is, by the way, not the person who uses they, them pronouns. This
No,
is a different
somebody
person.
else. Yeah, we're not misgendering anybody.
So she is like, let me know if you have any questions. So I'm like, oh, I do have questions. Number one, like,
Yeah.
what's a gathering space? Like, will it
What
be
is-
obvious for us to see?
Right, yeah, like, where is it?
3:15 is fine, but check-in's at 4. So are you saying we need to arrive in our, like, beach wedding attire? Because that's fine.
Which
but we
I'd
just
also
need
like to be
know.
clear, like, Morgan didn't say this shitty. It was genuinely just like, hey, what's the rules?
Right,
Like,
I just want
what's
to, like, I
happening?
didn't know if they were going to give us an early check-in because it seemed like here's your reservation at such and such hotel.
Right.
Like, it was like a robot. And so
Exactly.
I didn't know if the robot
knew that
maybe we
we
could have
had
an
the
early
event thing that
check-in.
we were going to. We didn't
Whatever. So, right, valid questions. And then I'm like, lastly, is there a dress code? Because, like, they said it's like a wedding/vow renewal, but, like, is this like a beach wedding as in, like, we're, like, on the beach, like, on the sand?
Which
like,
is
so
fine.
should we wear something, like, flowy and easy?
Right.
Or is it, like, on the pier where, like, we should
Right.
dress a little nicer with the beach in the background? Like,
Right.
what's it going to look like? No response. And I was like, okay, maybe they're really busy. We brought some options in case, like, there was a dress code.
Right. But they just didn't ever respond. So we're like, okay, so I guess we'll just drive for 3 hours, immediately change clothes in our car since we literally won't be able to check in yet, and then, like, hop over to the event and kind of, like, do it. And we're, like, kind of annoying. Like,
Mushrooms, Morgan, if you message us, we will happily tell you what
oh,
it is.
yes. Oh, I promise you
I don't
will,
want to
babe.
say it on here.
No, we're not going to, like...
I'm trying to, like, I don't think they would sue us, but we are trying.
We're trying to be conscious of the fact
Mm-hmm.
that, not that that's, like, an option for them exactly, but that, like, that is something... We're aware of that.
These kind of questioning is exactly what an event planner should cover.
Exactly,
Yeah. And you would think they
Artemis.
would check their email a lot before the event.
Well, and the other thing is that we're like, oh, they must be so busy with what's going on with the event that they're not able to email
it
us.
does not rhyme with Holiday Inn.
Oh, my God.
The
oh my
Holiday
God.
Inn would never do this to us.
No, the Holiday Inn would not do that.
So, anyway.
So we're like, okay.
So we're like, okay.
So the vibes are, like, off,
So,
right?
so we're just thinking they're, like, maybe understaffed, or
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah, that's
not
allowed.
a crime, because
No.
we're like, they're a small business hotel.
Exactly. We're like, they're a small business.
They're a small business. They're like, I'm sure they
these
had a really
pipes
hard
are
time.
Staying for sure. That's perfect.
I'm sure they had a really hard time with,
Like COVID.
we want to support small. And I also thought that they were queer owned, which upon rereading, maybe they aren't queer owned. They just said that they were queer friendly.
Right.
But we will get to that.
We'll get to there.
So, when we're about 2 hours out from the hotel, we've, like, had our lunch.
Yes. Yes.
All this stuff, Phoebe gets a text that says, like, hey, this is, and I don't remember this person's name, so we'll say, like, Miranda.
Yes.
This is Miranda with such and such hotel.
Yeah.
Like, if you have any questions about your reservation or your stay, like, you can text this number and I'll answer you. And we're like, oh, that's really cool.
Great. Like, that's really cool.
Disney just started doing a similar thing, and I
Right.
think it's a really smart idea.
And again, to be clear, I don't think it's something that they've done just for us. Like,
No.
That's definitely, it's clearly what they're doing with anybody who's staying at the hotel. And I'm like, oh, very cool. And so I assume...
immediately,
Miranda.
Sorry, Miranda.
Sorry, Miranda.
It was just the first, like, name that I could think of.
That wasn't their name at all.
No.
I know what the name is. But anyway, they're literally... So anyway, I respond to it thinking that they're probably not going to have any of this information, but that's okay. But so I'm just essentially
But
like...
maybe they can ask someone for this information.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I'm like, hey, like, we're doing...
It's perfect. That's
and
exactly
also,
what it looks like.
it's a big event. It's a big event.
Right,
What I'm
it's
thinking.
a big event.
So I'm
They must be
thinking,
very
like,
busy.
probably they'll know. So anyway, I was like, hey, so sorry, like, we had been in contact with, you know, like, the event planner person. Like, is there, like, we weren't sure if there was a dress code. We've brought a couple of different options. Also, just we're curious, like, what we heard that we were supposed to be needing
at the gathering space.
and we don't know where that is. So, like, do you mind telling us where that is? So
Should we park? Because we don't know how big the hotel is either.
And I went back and checked the text messages, and they responded about 7 minutes later, which is super fast, essentially. And okay, that's really fast. I don't know what all they've got going on. So they immediately respond, and they're like, oh,
Artemis, to be clear, this isn't a hotel opening.
No.
They've been in operation for like 6 or 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea how.
Since 2012. Since 2012, not an opening. The event is
something they've done before, so it also shouldn't be the first time they're doing it.
The knowledge that we have is that it's something that they've done many times. Like, they did it in 2017. They have pictures of that they've, like, shown us. It sounds like maybe they stopped doing it a little bit before COVID and are, like, back to doing it again. Not an opening, even a little.
No, this is an operating hotel.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
anyway, so they respond and they're like, hey, okay, so I'm not, literally they say, I don't know if there's a dress code, which is okay. If it was me, I would have just, like, found the answer to that, asked somebody else, found somebody to ask. No shade towards fake Miranda, not actually Miranda. And they also were like, and it looks like you guys, like, the gathering space is across from the lobby, just so you know. It's
very
like,
easy to find.
see.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and you need to meet there at 3. And what we've been told is 3:15, which we're driving for 3 hours. And if you know, I don't know, anyone in the world, you know, you have to, like, stop and pee. Like, you have to, like, do things, right?
And
so, exactly. So we are cutting it not close.
No, we were already
for
planning
3:15.
because we have to get dressed and put up. Well, I put on makeup and, like, do our hair and stuff in the car before we walk in because we couldn't get into our hotel room early.
Yeah.
So we were already planning on being there at 2:45, so we could, like, do that in the car. So we're like, okay, we'll still probably be there at 3, but, like, that's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess it's only 15 minutes. You can't just show up randomly 15 minutes before you originally planned if you're already on the way. Like,
exactly.
Literally.
Yeah, no, literally.
And, like, we could because we were responsible and left early, but, like, what if we... I don't know. Like, what if we didn't? Like, what if we were planning on being there at 3 and then there was... Or 3:15 and there was traffic? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so we're like, oh, okay. So Phoebe responds also very quickly and says, like, oh... We were told 3:15. Like,
is that the case still?
Like, are we going to be holding everyone up if we get there at 3:15? That's what time we were planning on being there. Like, you know, I know it's not a big difference, but, like, you know, is it going to be a problem?
No response. and again, like, it's not that person's fault. They're not the event planner.
No person that we spoke to
was shitty.
Nobody
was unkind. Nobody was stressful.
According to the reviews of this hotel, other staff members are shitty, but nobody that we spoke to was, like, shitty. Unprofessional, I would definitely say, but not rude at all. Definitely not rude. So anyway, so we're like, okay, so we get to the hotel and it's, like, really pretty on the outside and we're like, oh, okay. And then, like, kind of haphazardly, there's, like, all of these, like, queer flags that still have, like, the creases in them. Because they clearly just took them out of the packaging, and that's not, like, necessarily a problem.
And they've definitely not been, like, steamed, and, like, I just, like, that's, I would say, again, a pink flag.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, like, it seems like maybe they don't have a lot of gay people who
seems
work
like they
here.
just got those in this morning,
right? Which isn't, you know,
just iron them. And, like, when I put a tapestry, which I don't have one up, but when I had a tapestry in my house, I didn't iron it. I just put it out and it, like, flattened. So that it definitely means they're new.
Yeah,
like, they just put them out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Not just sitting at itineraries, but, like, not having an internal one. Nothing.
No.
Anna, we were like, what else is going on? Is there other things going on this weekend? Like, is it just this marriage ceremony, or is there also, like, a mixer later? Nothing.
We have no idea. We have no idea
but also we're thinking that we're going for free. Other people are paying. Maybe they're prioritizing the questions of the people who paid.
And we're like, okay,
that's
whatever.
Fair, you know?
That's totally fair.
This is, like, kind of. It seemed, at least clearly, like, kind of the first time they're working with influencers, so maybe it's, like, also
exactly tragic clown shoe. Exactly.
Also them being like. Yes, for $400 a couple, those flags better be steamed. Also, they were clearly from Amazon. And, like, Amazon's a necessary evil sometimes. I get it. But their whole thing, one of their whole things is that they're a sustainable hotel.
Which it turns out sustainable just means that they don't have air conditioning during a heat wave, by the way.
They also don't have
and
anywhere
they don't
to throw
have
away
any trash cans. They had like a little tiny trash can in the room, but they literally, all that they had in any common area was just like different like section
cans,
out
plastic,
recycling.
glass. And so I was like, okay, I have normal trash. I
It's
just have normal
not
trash.
more sustainable
If you just can't throw stuff
for
away.
you to not have a place to throw things away,
It's not
and
more
for everything
sustainable.
to be made ugly.
Well, hey, we haven't gotten to how
We'll get
ugly
there.
it is yet.
But we'll get there.
So
To be clear, we're just talking about the event right
Yeah.
now. I can't sustain without cold air. Yes, truly.
So we are pulling up, and there's a one single big trash can in the front that's overflowing.
Because
and I'm like,
obviously everyone has had to use it because there's no
it's the
trash
only one,
cans
which we don't
otherwise.
know that yet. But
No.
we're like,
We have no
know,
idea.
it's not a good look when like there's like really nice font on the hotel, and it's like clearly just been painted on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they painted it 2 minutes before we got there because it's like so brand new.
Yeah.
But like the one trash can is like absolutely overflowing. And like we worked at Disney World. It happens. Like for all I know, like someone called out, they're like behind.
Oh, we have no idea.
So I wasn't like, ooh, gross. I was
No.
like, oh, like they've been busy today. You know, like
there's
the trash
really a lot
can's
going on.
really full, and we were there at 3. So
Right.
like it's not like it was like the end of the night.
Right.
Anyway, so we walk up, I check in, Phoebe goes to the bathroom. As I'm talking to the person who's checking us in, they are like, just like clearly nervous, and I don't think it's that they knew who we were.
No.
It's like it was their first day because they were talking to themselves
Which
about like
also is totally fine. I'm never upset when somebody
No,
is
but
new
it's
at their
gonna
job.
become a theme.
It's gonna it'll be a recurring theme.
and so they're like, okay, and they're like talking to themselves about like, okay, first I do this, and then I'm like, okay, and they were super sweet.
And we've all been that nervous at a job before.
And so clearly they thought like I was gonna, or maybe they had just gotten yelled at, I don't know, but I was like, hey, like no worries.
Yeah, it's
like
okay.
I was like, are we late for the thing? And they were like, what thing? And they were like, oh, you must be here for the vow renewal thing. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, oh no, it's just right there. Like I don't think you're late. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then once I knew we weren't late, like I was like, take your time. Like, I'm not worried about it. They're like slowly getting the stuff ready, and they're like, okay. And they're like, all right, so here's what room you're in, and like, here's the piece of paper. And they're like, here's the Wi-Fi password, and the pool is at this place, and the restaurant's on the 4th floor, which is where you guys are. Like, do you have any other questions? And I'm like, no, sounds good. Do you know where the gathering space is? We're supposed to meet there. And they're like, oh yeah, it's just right through there. You really can't miss it. This looks so good. And we're like, okay, cool. So go to the hot trash helper for $400.
Please.
Our pride flags increase and our staff are terrified and confused.
She was so, and again, like, she wasn't shitty. Like,
No.
she was lovely. Wasn't her fault.
Hey, this is nicer blinds than they had.
You're right.
You're gonna have to get rid of those.
But let's move forward.
So we're like, okay, so we walk into the gathering space. We walk in. We walk in and immediately see like a bridey bride, which is what we will call her the rest of the story.
Yeah, she was the brideiest bride.
The brideiest bride and the brideiest bride's like spouse.
Right.
Who was like a very short, like very butchy.
I just realized what I'm going to do for the fucking shower curtain. But go ahead.
Very short, very butchy. Like, they look amazing. And we're like, oh my God.
Tell me this isn't it, bitch. Tell me this isn't fucking it.
That's it. Do they close really good?
If they close really good, it'll be better than ours. But go ahead.
Anyway. So.
Perfect. This is simply perfect.
So anyway, we are like, we see the brideiest bride and the butchiest groom.
Yeah.
And they're the only people in the room besides, I think it was like one of their moms and like siblings and a photographer that couple has hired.
Yeah.
Not the one that the hotel has hired.
No.
And so, I honestly think Morgan talking shit is my favorite thing, actually. Thank you, Seven. So, that couple is talking to a woman who, I have to give her a name. I shouldn't use her real name. Stephanie?
Let's pick a name that, like, nobody would be named. Marshall.
No.
No?
I'm going to forget that.
Okay.
Marsha.
Lamp. Marsha. If your name is Marsha, I'm sorry.
Morgan's not one to judge, but here I go. So, Marsha is the person who's going to be the minister, and apparently has also provided some of the flowers.
Right.
Not the business card that we were sent a PDF of, by the way.
No.
I don't know what happened to them. I don't know. I don't know if they saw the hotel and turned around. I have no idea. Marsha and Marsha's wife have done some flowers, and she's also going to be the minister.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, cool. And she's like plus size and like tall. And we're like, nice, cool.
Cute.
Love that for you guys. Because her wife was like very small, big, like...
I need just a crate.
I'm trying to think of like anyone who I can think of. I don't know, very small, in suspenders, very cute.
Yeah.
Marsha. The floral company was never seen again.
Literally.
Anyway, so Marsha is like, hi, are you guys another couple? Are you ladies another couple? And we like look at each other, and we're the only ones in masks. No one's wearing masks.
The whole time.
Oh, Mushroom Morgan, we will get there.
Oh,
we feel awful for the couples.
We will. Oh, we will, babes.
So
we'll
she's like, are you ladies another couple? And we're like, oh, like we're married already. We're here for the event. We're not really sure like what we're supposed to be doing. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, sorry, girls. Like, I don't know anything about it. I actually just found out this morning how many couples were showing up. And we're like, haven't you guys been planning this?
We're like, okay.
And we're like, well, we're already married. We actually just had our wedding.
Not that long ago.
We've,
Yeah, so we're not trying. We're just here. And then I kind of like jokey, knowing they're clearly not going to know who we are.
They clearly didn't know who we were.
Which is, again, totally fine. That's not the problem.
Ladies, girls, yes, that's what you are.
Women, pussy gals. So we're literally like, oh, like and I'm trying to sort of like deflect the energy of like them trying to make us do this event now that we can see that it's not going to go well. And we're like, yeah, we're just kind of like here to make TikToks, which is true.
Right, because she was like, well, what are you guys doing here if like you're not getting married?
Right.
Like, are you guests or whatever?
Right.
And Phoebe's like, oh, we're actually just here to make TikToks.
Yes.
Oh, Anna, don't worry. She'll come up again.
Yeah. Oh, she will. Oh, she will. And I'm like, hee. And they're like, oh, okay.
Very pussy queen slay of you two.
Oh my God, incredibly pussy.
Pink lady, thank you for subscribing me.
Thank you for subscribing.
Anyway, and then she's like, oh, I'm a TikToker, which I feel like when someone says I'm a TikToker, that means they make TikToks and people like follow them.
Yeah.
And we both were like, oh, cool. And she's like, I always get that reaction for your age group. I don't know what it is. Like, your age group just so surprised that I'm on TikTok. And we were like, no, like, we follow a lot of people who look different from us. Like,
yeah.
Like, what kind of content do you make? And she was like, oh, well, like, my videos, like, don't get seen by a lot of people. I don't really post them. And we were like, oh.
Which is, again, fine. And, again, we weren't rude. I want to be really clear.
Oh, no, we were not.
We were not.
And so we were
rude.
like, oh, so, like, you're just, like, on there, you watch TikToks.
And she's not a boomer. She's probably, like, Gen X, probably.
She's probably, like, older Gen X. I would say she's between, like, 45 and 55.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
And Katie Lewis, thank you for subscribing. Thanks for listening.
Katie Lewis.
Anyway. I already knew it was bad, but hearing about the event makes things so much worse. Oh, so team, get ready.
We
have just started.
Yeah, we've fuckle up.
So anyway, so she's like, yeah, like, I can't really get people to watch the videos I make, so I don't really make them that much. We actually, me and my wife here, who I don't remember her name, it's not going to be super important.
Cute.
She's much sweeter. Is like, oh yeah, I'm an old person with a TikTok. You women girl queens are so surprised I can't post on the Clock app. Not the boomer censorship.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so we were like, oh, like, well, we like do post videos and people do watch them. Her wife Marsha.
Oh my God. And we didn't say it's snotty. Like we were like, oh no, like that's like kind of our job. Like that's what we do. Like
we were like, that's like why we're here. Sorry, I'm laughing so hard. We're here to make TikTok content. So like we don't really need to renew our vows. We just got married.
Yeah, no, we're here to document.
We're here to document. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, what kind of content do you make, essentially? Or she said, what are you promoting? Which is a weird...
Which I think makes sense because they're like a small business.
Yeah.
Oh, God. MDevForevs.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I hope when people go back and watch this, it makes sense.
We stayed at a horrible hotel that was a gifted experience for us.
We've just gotten there in this part of the story.
Yes.
Essentially. And so she said, what are you promoting?
Anna, she wasn't a staff member. There was a staff member sort of floating around, and we thought that she was a staff member.
No, but she was hired by the staff.
Cats get games.
Cat. This is my wife barcode.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
we're promoting you.
Yes.
Right.
So she's like, what do you guys promote on your TikTok? And we
Yeah.
were like, because I guess maybe she thinks we're a business. I have no idea. And so,
So sorry.
Phoebe, this looks so good.
Thank you. That's what it looks like.
So she's like, or we're like, oh, we're just like queer and in love, and like a lot of like young queer people and like even older queer people kind of watch us, and like we answer like questions to young queer people, and like we also just kind of talk about how like you can find yourself and you can love yourself, and like
I'm like we've built like a very cool like sweet little community full of people that we really care about.
So we're like loving, like we're talking
so positively
about our community because we are super grateful and we love it.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was like, oh, that's interesting. If you get big enough, TikTok will pay you. Essentially, and then
they say, do you guys get paid by TikTok? And we said, oh no, And she goes, well, someday. And we're like, oh no,
and we're like, oh no,
so
like
no.
Actually, and we're explaining how the creator fund like
is
really
terrible. It's
is
not
terrible,
helpful.
and
it's
like so we're like, so if you guys ever like, because they own the flowers, they also own an Airbnb. Which we will not be staying in.
No.
No. This looks so good.
This is exactly what it looked like, but go ahead.
Can you stack the crates?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Okay, anyway. So she's like, maybe one day you can get paid by TikTok. So we're explaining like, oh, the creator fund's actually bad. So if you get invited to it, like, please don't join it. So it's bad.
It just
yes,
like,
this was our room.
Yes.
Phoebe's creating our room.
I'm making our room. I'm making our room.
So obviously, and I can't explain to you how accurate it is already.
Tragic clown. We'll get there, baby.
There were so many crates.
We will get there.
Can you make it look hotter?
Oh my! I will.
Try. Don't worry.
Oh, we'll make it hotter. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, so
essentially, it was literally. When I say it was literally on a crate,
that was not even like finished.
That's where it was.
This is such a meta student now. I know this was your group.
Thank you, R-squared. I've been working hard.
So anyway. So we're explaining to the creator fund how it's bad, and she's like, oh, well,
yes.
Do you follow this TikTok creator?
And
I'm like, oh, I don't think so, like, but maybe I've seen them on my For You page. And she's like, oh, well, she has a lot of followers, and, like, I bet if you can get her to follow you, I know that people go and see who she's following, so I bet you can grow even faster. And again, she just keeps mansplaining
she's
our
like, that's my advice for you. And we're like, okay.
And we're like, all right. By the way, I looked up the person she recommended, and they have, like, 80,000 followers.
Which is fine.
But, like...
That's fine.
We have... 420,000.
Right. Which isn't the same. Which
again, is not the same.
Like, no shade towards that person. I'm sure they're lovely, but this woman being
anyway, and then also this woman,
job.
and, like, I would love to hear Anna, NJ, or, like, anyone who's a person of color's, like, thought on this. Because, like, it just gives me the ick, but also I'm not a person of color. But she's like, well, TikTok thinks I'm a black lesbian. I'm on, like, black TikTok. Like, it doesn't even think I'm a white person. It's so crazy. And Phoebe described it really well, in my opinion, by saying it's giving, like, when white people have those, like, mammy cookie jars, and they're like... No, like, I love it.
I love it. She's so beautiful. Like, it's like, no. And there's been a couple of white lesbians we've known like that, who are like, they don't even know that I'm white.
What a fucking wild thing to say to strangers. And so
it's
we're like...
unhinged. And, like,
not the mammy antiques. And we were like, oh. And I was like, no, we follow a lot of black creators, Asian creators, disabled creators. Like, it's really, that's what we love about TikTok.
Is that
like,
there's
you can
so
learn
many
so
different
much
kinds
about
of
people who aren't like you.
Right.
And this person is real, Allie. Don't worry, we will keep going.
We'll get there.
This story is giving me heartburn. She would have voted for Obama a third time if she could.
Shut the fuck up.
It's exactly like that.
Exactly like that.
So woke they're racist.
Oh my God.
This all happens. We've been there for 10 minutes. It's giving run. The call is coming from inside the house.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So anyway... So we're like, okay,
remarks,
cool.
We've been there for like 7 7 minutes. I just need you to know that.
And so we're like, oh, haha. And so she's like, so what else do you guys talk about on TikTok? And we're like, oh, we're not just on TikTok. We're also on,
like we just
on
kind
Twitch
of
and
like
YouTube. And then I was like, yeah, it's really great.
Yes, exactly, Anna. That's exactly
Anna, that's exactly what it's like.
And here's the other thing is that like she doesn't actually work there. So I'm continuing to kind of like give some slack to the hotel, despite the fact that they've hired this woman as the minister.
Right, because like maybe like they just wanted to hire, because they are queer. Maybe they wanted to hire a queer floral person.
And here's the other thing is that like in retrospect, it was absurd to me that they should have a queer person on their staff to be working this event, and they didn't.
Right.
No one queer from the hotel was working the event, so that's
that we know
relevant.
of, I guess.
She doesn't work there. They've hired her to be the worst minister I've ever heard.
Yeah, and they did the florals.
To set down some
I will
flowers.
say the flowers were
really
really
the flowers
pretty.
were beautiful.
They were really pretty.
They were beautiful.
Sorry, what was the event? It's essentially, long story short, they've told us that
they said it's sort of like a group, like
a group.
You know,
vow
like
renewal.
how everybody got married when marriage equality was legalized.
Went.
Like everybody's like at courthouses. It's all these gay couples. It's all these people. Everyone's like crying.
They're saying
that
they do that every year, essentially.
Yeah, but they have like this sort of like big like beach wedding event that's like if people want to get married, they can get married there, and it's like, and that conceptually I think is cute. She's feeling feeling racist.
What they're describing, if someone does it well, I would absolutely
that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
I was like a queer hotel, and like someone needs to step on that, because that should be a thing where it's like everybody's like, welcome to the hotel. They like give you a little free pronoun pin.
Yeah. Cute.
That would be cute. Hey, it's not jutting out enough. Phoebe.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just make it jut more. So pretend the door's right here. Oh shit! I should have done this differently. Oh, I think I can. I'll make it long instead.
You definitely can.
Please hold. We'll make it long instead.
Anyway, so
oh damn it.
So she's like, what else do you do? And we're like, oh, we're also on YouTube. And so I say, like, yeah, like, we really love our community. It's so wonderful. I can't believe this is our jobs. Like, we actually just posted a video of me, like, making a cake for 30 minutes. And, like, it was only posted a week ago. It's got, like, 1,000 views.
Which is so wild.
It's so sweet,
like
how much our community, like, supports us.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, that just shows how sad and lonely people are, that they would watch you just, like, make a cake. Like, that's so sad for people. Like, I really wish that, like, there was, like, real community these days. And we were like,
oh,
well, we love our community.
Yeah.
And we
like,
love that they watch our videos, because
yeah.
otherwise we wouldn't. Has she heard of the Food Network?
No, and literally, and we're also trying to and we're also immediately like, oh, no, like, maybe it's just, like, a young person thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, all the
because
time,
she's
like...
been so rude and misgenders Phoebe so much.
I know, so many times. But we're literally like, no, like, we
That's
love
so
them.
sad that you have people that love you.
I know!
Chat, did you know it's, like, so sad that you're here?
So sad. I know. And Max is like,
she didn't have to read us like that.
Oh my god. It was just like,
ma'am? What the hell?
It was just unhinged to say. And also, like, literally, like,
during a pandemic?
Literally, we have things on, like, in the background all the time, like Luxie, like anybody, like, all kinds of content.
And we were like, oh, like, young people.
Right. So,
because at this point, and that's not rude, in my opinion, because she wasn't young.
Right. And Morgan's trying to sort of, like, explain the concept of body doubling. She's like, no, it's like...
And I was like, oh, it's like a thing.
Done.
Therapists talk about it.
Right.
Like, body doubling. Like, it's a different type of, like, media to consume. Like, YouTube videos versus, like, a TV show that you've seen a lot of times versus a TV show you haven't seen a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's
just
it's a different type of way that, like, people are coping.
Oh, it's the wrong wall.
Yeah, it's okay. We can fix it.
We'll come back
Don't
to
worry.
it.
You've got plenty of time.
You're right.
I've got a lot of
fucking time.
So I've never seen so many red flags in under 20 minutes.
Now, I was not wearing a pronoun pin. They didn't have any pronoun pins for this event. Like, that wasn't...
No, that's true. They did not have pronoun pins, but we were invited, and you would think that someone would say, like, by the way, trans person... gonna be there, or you think in a queer space they would at least ask.
Mr. Big Vig says you were literally invited there to share your sad hotel stay with your sad internet friends.
Maybe we were. Maybe we were being punked.
Right. And so I'm like,
the event is giving so much turf energy, and we haven't even gotten there yet.
No, it was unhinged.
So she's like, and we're like, oh, we really like it. Then we didn't give her a name. The event coordinator. I don't think we've given her a name. I think we only give Marsha a name.
Yeah.
Should we give her a name?
Shmarsha.
No, it's got to be something. Should we call her Hannah?
Hannah.
Okay.
My best friend's name is Hannah.
Sorry.
So.
They couldn't read your bio at least? They couldn't ask.
Oh, they didn't know anything about us, which again is fine.
It's fine. Again, she's not working for the hotel.
No.
J.K. Rowling has the code name.
Oh my fucking God.
Her name is Goiter. We're going to call her Hannah. I'm sorry. I know that there are Hannahs in the chat. It's just the first thing that we could think of.
Yes.
So, anyway, Hannah, the event coordinator, shows up. And, did they have trans flags outside, or was it just gay things? So they had, like that Amazon thing. It was like a banner that had the trans flag, the rainbow flag, the bisexual flag, and the pansexual flag. It didn't have lesbian flag for sure.
You saw a banner.
Yeah, the little, like, it's not a banner, but
it's like bunting?
It's got a bunch of tiny flags on it, and it looks like this.
Okay.
They had it all around the restaurant, even
I
outside
didn't
the
see
restaurant.
that. Okay.
And then it was also outside. In all seriousness, it's actually quite awful that someone feels so comfortable being casually racist. Racist concerts are not probably louder.
Yes.
Because I have TikTok, Two Lady Knows What. Yes. And it's a reminder that queer-friendly spaces can be racist as fuck. Oh, and it was super ableist when we haven't gotten there.
Oh, yeah.
Please, POC, make sure to send your white friends first.
Yeah.
So they only have to deal with the awkwardness. Yeah. And one of the one who was with the bridiest bride was not black, but she was not white.
No, yeah.
She used she, her pronouns.
Yeah.
Because, we asked or listened for context clues when we talk to new people.
Right.
Anthropology, thanks for subscribing. You two are too good for this world. It's like this wasn't actually an event for LGBT plus people. It's just for white lesbians. Oh, it's 100% just for white lesbians.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to, and I wouldn't ask a person of color to do work by asking their opinion, so I didn't ask this person on their wedding day.
No.
I feel like it's a little racist in here.
No.
But, like, I would love to know what she thought of it.
Because it was...
Because it was unhinged.
Unhinged.
Anyway, so then Hannah, the event coordinator, comes up and she's like, okay, so we have 2 of the 3 couples. And Phoebe and I look at each other being like, oh no, we're one of the 3.
We're one of the 3, which again, we didn't know previously.
Which we didn't know
we had
in
no
our emails.
Idea. No.
We had no idea. We thought maybe they didn't know and they were going to, like, see how busy it was and then, like, kind of figure it out.
Right. Like, throw us in there,
But clearly that wasn't even talked about.
No.
So Phoebe and I are looking at each other and we're like, oh no.
Fuck.
And Marsha's like, no, I only have one couple. I have one couple. And she's pointing at the bridiest bride and her partner.
Right.
They have 3 guests. Also, by the way, they charged $80 per guest that you wanted to bring to this event.
For nothing.
God knows why, because
nothing.
We're about to explain, like, there's
what the event was.
nothing happening.
Nothing. I guess this was the closet.
Yeah. That was where the robes are.
Yes.
The great
robes. The 2 robes. But go ahead.
$80 per guest after the $400. And also your guest doesn't get any discount in staying in the rooms.
No. Also, they're the worst rooms in the world, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So, for cheese and rice, the ropes... Did you put ropes in yet?
Oh, no, I gotta put ropes in.
Oh, no. They thought we said ropes. There are ropes. I said robes just now.
Oh, robes. Yeah.
I keep forgetting innocent people paid to be there.
I know.
They're like, look, chairs aren't free. These, like VBS foldable chairs on the beach.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
So, anyway.
Buckle up, everybody, because we're getting there.
So, Marsha's like, no, I've got one couple. And then
Morgan and I lock eyes and are like, fuck. And, yeah,
Hannah's like, no, this is the second couple. And Marsha's like, did you guys lie to me? Are you guys not a couple? Are you guys not one of the couples? And we're like, no, we are a couple. We're married already, so we don't really need to. And I'm trying to play it off by being like, well, we didn't want to waste any resources. Like, if you guys don't, if you don't have the resources to also, like, do our vow renewal, like, we want,
like, that's fine. Like, we wanted to go, trying to not
my
say,
butt doesn't even fit in those chairs. Oh, don't worry. This is also a fat-phobic
super
space.
Super fat-phobic, but we'll get
there. Don't worry. Julie Logan, thank you for subscribing. Thanks so much. Thank you. She accused you of lying. Yes, and I think she was trying to be like, oh my God, you guys lied. But she doesn't understand that we don't have that kind of rapport with her. She hasn't picked up on that.
Not at all.
The boldness of Marsha.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, we're like, okay, no, we can do a vow renewal. That's fine. And Hannah's like, okay, well, I can't find my 3rd couple. I don't know where the 3rd couple is. I've called the bride over and over. Also, she kept calling the one in a dress the bride. And later we found out that both of them use, like, she, her pronouns.
So they're both brides.
So, like she should have been calling them both brides, but whatever.
Right.
Marsha legit was like, you betrayed me after we are such friends.
No.
This is Marsha's safe space.
Oh my God.
It is.
It's only a safe space for Marsha, for no one else.
Are you going to put the other fan up?
I'm trying to find a box. I don't think there is a box fan, but hold on.
Anyway.
I'm working on it.
So they didn't give the third couple the wrong time. They didn't know where to meet. So they didn't even email them and say meet in the gathering space.
Right.
We were the only people who had that wonderful bit of information, which is apparently
super crucial to have.
A bunch of information.
For their standards.
A Marcia inclusive event.
Oh my god.
So we find out later that the third couple's already on the beach, meaning again they had no information,
idea where
and
they
paid $400 plus the time for 2 guests.
Right. So as soon as Hannah, the event coordinator, has left the room, the only person who works at the hotel, I'm literally to the other couple like, hey, like, what? Like, did you guys...
And Phoebe was like, I don't want to shit on the event because it's their real wedding day.
It's literally their wedding day.
So we're not about to be
So we're not going to be like, hey, is this the worst thing you guys have ever seen? Like, we're not going to say that. So...
The guests didn't pay $400. The guests paid $80 each.
Right.
So it was $400 for one couple.
Yeah.
And then $80 per guest you wanted to bring to witness the event.
Right.
I can't imagine paying for this. Toots, hold on to your hat.
Buckle up, baby.
So, And so anyway, so we're like talking to the bride and we're like, you guys look beautiful.
Yeah.
And they are really excited. And again,
cute.
They've hired their own photographer.
Right.
And their own photographer's gotten a bunch of pictures of them.
Yeah. So
and we're like, you guys look great. Like, how long have you been together? Like, just like trying to talk to them. And we're like, we're so glad. And they clearly don't know who we are either. And that's also so
again,
fine.
irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, Em, it is not including the stays.
Just
the $400 that the couple is paying gets them this event that we're describing plus 20% off of 2 nights at the hotel.
Yep.
So they still have to pay for the hotel.
Yep.
And then the $80 per guest is just for the food that we're going to describe later. Mm-hmm. That was absolutely not worth $80.
No.
100%. So anyway...
This is too nice.
It is too nice.
I don't know how to make it worse, but go ahead.
So we're like talking with that couple, and then Joanna comes back and is like, okay, so the other couple is down on the beach already, just like waiting on us. We're just going to meet them there. Marcia, why don't you take these guests, the 3 guests, take these guests, go ahead and go down. I'll grab the PA. I'll meet you at the beach. And we're like, okay, cool. And the bridiest bride is like wearing these heels that are so cute. They were from ModCloth. They were adorable. And Hannah is like...
Her name's Hannah.
Her name's Hannah. Hannah is like, oh, you're not going to want to wear those heels. We're going to be on the sand. And the bridiest bride is like, oh, are we not going to be on the boardwalk? Which is apparently what she thought was going to happen.
Right.
But again, no one has communicated
no one has said that to
any sort of
anybody.
itinerary or like what this looks like.
To anyone.
At all. It's wild that they let guests go for the same event. Yeah. Anyway. And so,
I need like one by
Hannah
one
is like, oh no, we're going to be walking on the sand. Honestly, this flooring matches too much.
Yeah, it looks better. I'm working on it, though. Don't worry.
So, Hannah has been an event planner for maybe 5 hours.
I couldn't fucking tell you, babe.
Not even.
I have no idea.
And so she tells the bridiest bride, like, oh, like, no, you're not going to be able to walk in the sand in those heels. Like, do you have flip-flops? And Hannah is like, oh yeah, we have some in the car, but like that's where our dogs are. And to be clear, like the dogs I think they have been with up until like these last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like, they have the dogs in the car with the windows down for these like, for this 7-minute ceremony, and then they're going back because it is a dog-friendly hotel, but they also couldn't check into their room before the event.
Right.
So anyway,
the dogs are in the car during a heat wave, but they're with a person.
They're with a person.
They have the air conditioning
They're
on.
with a person because, like, they can't get into the room.
And she's not wearing flip-flops. She's wearing heels.
She's wearing heels.
Beautiful heels.
Yes. But she's like, I have flip-flops in the car. Because she's wearing heels because she thought we were going to be walking on the pier where you could wear heels. And it wouldn't be super comfy, but you'd be able to.
Yes.
Wait, isn't there a trash bag item? Could work for the sustainable vibe.
We'll get there. I got to do this flooring real quick.
Anyway, so Hannah is the event coordinator.
We can just say the event coordinator. That's fine.
So the event coordinator is like, you're not going to be able to wear those heels. We're going to be on the actual sand. Do you have flip-flops? The bridiest bride's like, I have flip-flops. I don't really want to grab them. And what Hannah should have said is, we're going to be walking on rocks, very, very hot sand, and grass that has not been maintained. You're going to want your flip-flops. Yeah, and we don't know it's a trail.
We have no idea.
Or if the event coordinator has not told us that we're going through a trail, we think, like most beaches, we're going to be kind of walking on like a pier situation until there's like steps, and then you go down to the beach. At least that's how most of the beaches I've gone to are. There's also definitely not one of those, like, you know how a lot of beaches these days, I guess not more than zero. Some beaches now have like a thing that you can take like your wheelchair out on.
Yes.
They don't have that.
No.
Phoebe's 100% sincerely focused typing ugly into the Animal Crossing search bar. Anyway, so...
Look at there, Dorian! It's okay, it's okay.
Can you make it?
I'll just make it, yeah.
So anyway, but instead, the event coordinator does not say we're going to be walking on very, very hot sand and rocks and a trail that has not been maintained. She's like, okay, that's fine. You can go barefoot. Go ahead and take your shoes off. You can leave them here. So the brideiest bride and the brideiest bride's partner, and us and the event coordinator are marching to the beach in a trail that, like, it's got to be like 3/4 of a mile long, which isn't super long, except that it was 96 degrees in our car. So I don't know what the actual temperature was, but I know that it was 96 degrees on our little car when we checked in. And I don't know if you guys have seen that thing about like how hot sand and asphalt get when the sun's out, but it was very hot.
Yeah.
So the brideiest bride is walking with no shoes on.
Right.
Through all of this, and she keeps stopping to like try and hop on some grass and being like, oh my god, my feet hurt so much. And Phoebe is like, this isn't my actual wedding.
No.
So Phoebe's like, sweetie,
I can burn my feet, like it doesn't fucking matter.
Do you want my shoes? I know they're not very cute, but like at least you've got shoes.
Yeah.
Like, do you want? She's like, no, it's fine. Like, you know, it's fine. I don't need to be able to feel my feet. And we're like,
baby, it's your wedding.
So it takes like a full 10 minutes to get down to the beach. We finally get there. There's 12 chairs with only 5 people in them.
Yeah.
That's when we see the other couple. So, like, the brideiest bride is wearing, like, a full-on, like, wedding dress with her partner who's wearing, like, a suit without the jacket part, just, like, a vest. We're wearing, like, what you might wear to, like, be a guest at a beach wedding. So I'm wearing, like, kind of a flowy-ish, like, sundress type vibe. Phoebe's wearing, like, shorts with a pattern and, like just a white, like, shirt, nothing super exciting. The third couple is wearing, the, like, more femme one is wearing, like, a LuLaRoe dress, so, like, something comfy, cozy, but, like, you'd probably wear it on, like, a date. And their person's wearing, like, a polo and some cargo shorts. So, like, we've got 3 completely different vibes going on.
Yeah.
And I will say, at least the nice thing is that each couple looked like they were going to the same event.
Yeah.
But I don't know how these beautiful, innocent people found out about this event. Oh, don't worry, Jimmy, we will tell you how they found out.
We sure will.
So, anyway, so there's the 12 chairs, only 5 of them are filled. Then there's the photographer that the brideiest bride hired, and then the photographer that the hotel has hired, who I also really liked her vibe.
Yeah.
She did misgender us, or Phoebe.
Yeah.
But somehow gay but homophobic at the same time. Yeah. So, anyway, and then Marcia's standing at the end because she's going to be the minister, and she's got this piece of paper that she has, like, I don't know if she wrote it or if she found it on the internet or if the hotel provided it, but she's like, I'm going to be the minister now. I've got, like, this piece of paper. I'm ready. So we're like, okay, like, how do you want us to come down? There's no music. There's just, like, wind. And there's people, it's an actual, like, beach. So there's people, like, they haven't blocked off an area for us or anything, really. They just found an area that's kind of far away from people's towels and coolers and, like, drunk, sunburnt men.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, why don't you guys just, like, walk down, and then we'll kind of form, like, a V shape. And we're like, okay, Marcia, guess we will. So no music, no nothing. I'm going to be the minister now. It's not something you hear at a wedding, like, oops, during surgery. No music. There's just drunk people walking through the ceremony. Yeah, like, walking behind it, all this stuff. And, like, they can't, like, it is a public beach, so I'm sure that they can't control anything. But, like, they are the hotel right on the beach, so it does seem like they could have, like, maybe blocked off an area closer to the water. Like, you can, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so, Marcia starts reading, and she's reading this thing that's like, as we all know, on this day, marriage equality was passed by the Supreme Court. because of this court case, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why would you, like, she should have rewritten it based on the things that have happened in the last week.
Yeah.
She should have said, like, just something general about how, like, you know, I'm so glad you guys all found your person.
Right.
Like, have a great time.
Yeah.
But instead, she says that, and then she's like, also, not to get, it wasn't on Friday, it was on Sunday. She's like, not to get political, but I think we all know that the last week has been, like, so stressful, especially for, like, any women, you know? Only women!
Just women.
It's not stressful for anyone else.
No.
No other genders are stressed out. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
It's totally fine. Anyway, and she is like, and also, she's, like, reading this thing, and then she ends it with, like, I just want to say, and love will always fucking win. And she's, like, teary-eyed. And Phoebe and I are looking at each other like, like, and, like, again, if it was just that, if it was, like, just Marcia that was, like, not great at reading the room or whatever, we would, like, chalk it up to being like, what the heck? Like, some people are so funny. But anyway, so she's like, okay, repeat after me. And we're repeating these, like, little chunks that she clearly just got from the internet, and that's fine. Like,
so we're not even doing our own vows.
No, we're not doing our own vows. The couples whose actual wedding it is, they're not doing their own vows.
No.
Marcia says Winmix because she thinks it's inclusive.
Yes. Yes, she sure does.
So she is like, you know, she reads a little chunk. We all say I do. Here's a little do. We all say I do. She reads another chunk. We say I do again. Part of the thing that she's reading says, like, something like faith. And it's not like I put my faith in you. It's like we will build our faith
like
together.
We'll build
like, it's
our
giving
faith.
churchy stuff.
Which is not our vibe at all.
No, not our vibe. Didn't seem to be the other couple's vibes either.
No, it didn't seem like anyone had asked anyone.
Seems like they should have checked in.
Right. Also, like, truly no concept, no nothing of, like we weren't given the vows beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, these couples who are getting married, like, they didn't read the beach. Yes, literally. And
it was literally 3 couples, 5 guests.
We're one of
2
the
photographers.
3. We're one of the 3. It was
very uncomfy. It was incredibly intimate, except we didn't know anyone.
Right.
And they didn't know us.
Right.
And the other couples didn't know each other.
Right.
So, anyway, so we're like, okay, so Morgan and Phoebe getting forced married on a public beach. And so we're like, all right. So then they finish I'm not exaggerating, like, 6-minute ceremony.
Yeah.
And then they're like, great, you can now kiss your bride. And then it's like, cool, nice. And then the photographer for the hotel, not the personal one that Bridey Bride hired.
Yeah. It does, Shark Dad. It certainly fucking does.
It does, and we're not even halfway through, team. I'm so sorry. Yeah. It's gonna be a whole stream of me complaining.
It's gonna be much worse, yeah.
This is awful. She's unhinged. Yes, this is all terrible. What's getting me most is that she should have been this information should have been available to everyone in a bloody itinerary. Exactly. So the photographer's like, let's get some pictures together. And when I tell you that there was not a single photo taken of just one couple, so they did all 6 couples every single time they took a photo.
Yeah.
So they take one of all six people in the couples and then the 5 guests.
Yeah.
And they're like, woo! And they're like, now do a silly one. Not kidding. Not kidding. And if Krista, our photographer, had said, let's do a silly one, I would have loved it because Krista gets our vibe and we're silly.
Krista's cute. We're very silly.
Pictures together with strangers at your wedding. It's giving high gay. It's literally.
Yes.
And so we're like, okay, all right. And then they're like, okay, let's get just the couples. And at that point, I was like, finally, they're going to take some singular photos. And they didn't. They took the 6 of us. Yeah. And then they're like, let's get some with the beach in the background now. Because what they did first was get, the, like, weeds of the beach in the background. It's looking really good.
Yep.
We do need a TV. We need an unstained.
Yeah. Oh, I'm working on it.
Is there?
Don't you worry.
It's giving marketing ploy.
It is, Saber G's.
Can you do unfinished baseboards?
I don't think I can.
You're married to 4 other gays now. Maybe we are.
Maybe we are.
Pink Lady, we spent an hour and a half telling this story to Mom and Dad last night. So you guys are getting the fully juicy, detailed version.
I'm so sorry.
Did the other couples look uncertain / uncomfy?
No, and that's the other thing, Smoke Buns, is that they seemed like they were doing, I am, Dorian. They were doing fine. Like, they didn't seem concerned.
They seemed obsessed with each other, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, we weren't going to shit on it in front of them because, like, if they need to lie to themselves and say that it was that was beautiful, terrible,
perfect.
Then that's
okay.
so fine.
They can totally do that. That's none of my business if they need to do that for them. Like, that's totally fine. But, like, oh my fucking God.
So, anyway, they're like, let's get just the couples. Let's get someone with the beach in the background. And in the very, very far background of the beach, there's, like, a car. And, like, from where I can see it, the car is, like, this big. And it's not an event we paid money to do. They paid for us to go, quote, unquote.
Yeah.
In exchange for content that we don't want to post because it's not honest because we had a terrible time. Hang on, wait. I have to read what Anna said. At 3 p.m., we'll be greeted by our terrible receptionist. At 3:20, you'll be distracted by our minister, followed by your career being explained to you and some light racism. 4 p.m., the main event of you being forced to marry each other, including religious and non-inclusive language, because surprise, we hate you.
It was a bit much.
Anna, you've nailed it.
Anna, you fully nailed it.
So, anyway... So then Marsha is like, well, to block the car in the background, which I'm not a photographer, but I do follow them on TikTok. Yeah. And I know that it would have been because of how far away it is. Right. It would have been super possible for them to just edit out that car.
No, but literally it's Marsha. It's not the photographer who's saying that. It's Marsha, Marsha the minister.
It's like, photographer's
I'll stand in the background to block the car. And we're like, okay, Marsha.
Car on the skyline.
Car on the beach line.
The beach,
but
like way far back.
Yes, exactly.
That is remarkably
It was probably much harder cropping out an entire person, I would think. It's seeming like it's going to be
So then Marsha's like, I'll just stand behind the couples awkwardly to block the car. And it's like, I canceled all other plans this evening to hear the story.
Oh, Bobby is
so sorry.
Welcome.
But anyway, I love the loose cords.
Yeah. That is where the loose cords were.
It's really right next to the wet spot.
Right next to the wet spot.
So anyway, it's much easier to edit out a card. It has to be, especially one that's so far away. But anyway, so Marsha's just standing. Like, if Phoebe's the couples, here's Marsha. Am I blocking the car?
Ominously.
Am I in the way of the car? And the photographer's like, yeah, you're blocking the car.
Fuck.
So anyway, so then,
Is there not a box fan? God damn it.
That's the closest thing.
It's okay.
I'm
gonna keep looking.
So then, oh no, sorry, the clock's over here, the earplugs are right here.
Oh, you're right. I'll put there's not gonna be earplugs.
So anyway, so then Marsha's like, okay, can you see everyone? And the photographer's like, yeah, I can see everyone. And Marsha's like, okay, when I need people to laugh at a wedding for a picture, I say testicles. And then the second person, the person of the second couple is like, maybe think about your audience. Yeah. And then she's like, well, you guys all laughed, didn't you? And I was like...
Found the bucket.
Oh, there's the bucket.
There's the ice bucket.
As a graphic designer, the car would be easier to edit
I'm sure, significantly.
Marsha giving Mom, I threw up.
Yes.
I stayed in a haunted hotel once and the ghosts were more respectful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she's like, say testicles. We're all like, ha ha ha. And then the event coordinator is like, okay, that's it. And then we're like, okay. Nice. And she's like, so let's go back to the gathering space. We're going to have some light appetizers and some bubbly and some cupcakes. And we're like, okay, cool. So we go back and I'm talking the second we start walking away, a huge van pulls up that they are like packing these VBS chairs into. Yeah. And we're following Marsha's wife. And I was like, haha, like, there's a van. Why don't we just ride back? Like, that's not fair. LOL. Like, trying to make light and make jokes. Yeah. And they're like, haha, we should have thought of that. And they're like, yeah, maybe we should have thought of that. And I was like, okay. And then the bridiest bride, whose feet are absolutely destroyed.
Burning. Certainly destroyed.
And also no lesbians have testicles. Dripping with sarcasm.
Yes. That's the vibes.
The energy for this thing is like a terrible school trip. Yes.
It was awful. It was so awful.
Anyway, so we get to, like, we are finally, like, back at the gathering space after walking back through that horrible, horrible trail.
Yeah.
And the event coordinator's like, oh, we're missing our last couple. And I was like, yeah, they were way behind because the bride didn't have shoes. And the other bride was trying to help her out because her feet hurt so much. I'm sure she was going to be slow coming back.
Which Morgan says much nicer than she's saying it right now.
No, but I was like, and that's why I kept trying to walk slow, and they were like, hurry up. And I was like, we're just leaving this beautiful bride.
It's her wedding day.
It's her wedding day.
We're just leaving her.
But anyway, so we get back to the space, and they have music going. And I'm like, that's kind of nice, I guess. But it's clear that they haven't paid for
Amazon
Pandora
Premium
or Spotify Premium because ads keep playing.
Right.
Ads keep playing so loudly.
Loud ads.
And then the event coordinator...
Here, you go ahead and I'll be the
No,
ad.
wait, hang on. We have to do her when we come in.
Oh, go. You're right.
So we come in and the event coordinator's made it there before us. I don't know if she rode on the terrible van or whatever. But she is like, did you guys want some bubbly? Some champagne? She said it normal. I said it normal. She's like, did you want some champagne? And I don't drink. Which, like...
Is whatever.
I don't feel the need to explain it to every single person. It does feel like a little bold. Because what happens next is Phoebe's like, I'll take some champagne. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm okay. And, like, whether I was, like, pregnant or just, like, I'm like, sober. I don't drink.
Right.
She's like, oh, okay. And then she, like, turns back and she's like, did you want a non-alcoholic option? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And so she's like, can I get a non-alcoholic cider? Can I get another cider, please? And, like, Phoebe was...
Shrieking.
Yeah, when Phoebe was talking to Mom and Dad last night, they were like, you know, at least Morgan's not, like, in actual, like, recovery.
Yeah.
Because if she was, that would be so embarrassing.
For someone to be shrieking, hey, someone here can't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Y'all know that TikTok audio that's, like, it's, like... I don't remember his name, but it's like Jeffrey, and then it's like rehab, and then it's like Jeffrey had to go to rehab because he couldn't drink beer like a normal person. Like, it gave that energy. And so I was like, okay, thanks for the cider.
Yeah.
So I had my cider. Then, like, you know, the music's playing, and that's when we hear the first ad, and we're looking at each other like, they haven't even signed into Spotify Premium.
Yes. Which, and again, like, not to be this guy, but, like, and I'm so sorry, but, like, Morgan and I have been, like, theater kids. Like, I've been, like, a stage manager a lot of times, and just, like, something that you should have for an event is, like, already poured apple cider for, like, people who can't have alcohol or don't want to have alcohol, or, like, it shouldn't be, I don't know, do you know what I mean?
The only other person who wasn't drinking was someone who was clearly a minor.
Right.
And that's fine. And, like, again, I'm not, like, actively in recovery. I'm super fine being like, oh, I used to drink too much, so now I don't drink.
Right, yeah.
That's fine. I can make jokes, but, like, they don't know that.
No, super awkward.
Because, again, they don't know us.
No, yeah.
And that's, again, also fine.
That's fine. But, oh, my God.
Did you get the other couple's contact info? Can we send them something nice?
Oh, my God. Listen.
So, anyway. So, then, the event coordinator and Marcia and Marcia's wife are, like, all there, along with... the second couple, the ones that were just on the beach, their guests, and then the Bridiest Bride's guests, but not the Bridiest Bride or her new wife.
Right.
Given that it was awful. Given that they included religious references, I'm surprised they had alcohol since so many religious people.
I think they were trying to just do like a catch-all. Like,
I think they were trying to be inclusive
about it. Yeah, I think like they were trying to be inclusive of other religions.
But again, like,
it just seems like something they should have asked the people who were like going to be attending. I don't know.
The Bridiest Bride was left for dead, literally.
Yeah.
Also for the bartender, I feel bad they were being yelled at while making drinks. Oh, it wasn't stressful because there was 8 people there.
Yeah. No.
But like anyway, so
blisters from the hot sand. Yeah, genuinely.
So
that was what was happening.
Hannah, the event coordinator, is like, oh, it looks like we're still missing someone. Are we missing someone? And I was like, yeah, we're missing the other bride and her wife because like they were a little behind. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, while we're waiting, I just want to say, and she, like, lifts up her champagne.
I'll be the ad. Go ahead.
So
do the toast.
She's like, well, while we're waiting on her, I just want to say, this was the most beautiful.
If you like to have teeth,
wonderful
get
wedding.
Colgate toothpaste.
There are tears.
You can brush your teeth with
I am
Colgate.
crying because I cannot believe it just goes to show that we are
Toothpaste
doing
is
the right
good for
thing.
your teeth.
And love will
And
always win
also
because the weather is
fresh.
so beautiful.
And now, more music.
Y'all, this ad is playing so loud.
It was screaming.
So loud as the event coordinator is like teary-eyed, being like, it was
like,
so
there's
beautiful.
dead
Please
ass.
do this as puppets next.
There's tears.
This shit show brought to you by Colgate.
It was so.
And we're like,
I have to pee so bad. I'll be right back.
okay.
But also,
okay.
this. Please look at how exactly like the hotel room this looks.
It looks so good. Should I keep going? You want me to wait?
Oh no, you can keep going.
Okay. So sell this story to Netflix. I was telling my therapist today, and she was like, "You should make this into a movie." So, so we're like looking at each other, and we're like, "Oh my god," because this ad is loudly playing. And hello, Dwayne. And then they, maybe it was a paid promo. Maybe Colgate was sponsoring this terrible weekend. So anyway, we're like, okay. And then she's like, go enjoy the appetizers, enjoy the cupcakes. This was a beautiful wedding day, guys. Like, you guys are all so lucky. I'm so glad you found your person. And so we're like, okay, I guess we'll go enjoy the appetizers, of which there were 4. You would think that for $400 a person, $400 a couple, $200 a person, you would think that the appetizers would be warm or hot even, but that was asking too much of this hotel. They were cold. They were clearly supposed to be hot, and maybe were hot at one point. As someone that works with Colgate, I feel obligated to say they do not support this. So I'm hungry. It's 4 p.m. Somehow it's only been an hour that we've been here. And we're like, let's get some food. There is a vegetarian option, we think. It says the name of it and a V next to it. However, we didn't know if the V meant vegetarian or vegan. And one of the words that they used, I thought meant meat. It turns out it meant like the way that it's cooked. And then it also had chèvre, which is goat cheese. And so I was like, I know it's not vegan, but it has a capital V. So maybe this is vegetarian. And then there was something else that was listed with a small v. And so I was like, maybe that means vegetarian? And so Phoebe basically just had bread. There were 4 options. There was this 7-year hour. Yeah. There was this like goat cheese mushroom thing on bread, and again, when it was warm, I bet it was pretty good.
It's been marked with a capital V as if it means
That's
that
what
it's
I said.
vegan, and it definitely wasn't.
It definitely wasn't.
Because it's cheese.
So anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'll grab this. There's some like cheesy bread that was probably really good warm, pretty good cold.
It was fine cold. Yeah, it was fine. It was definitely, as it said, it was labeled vegetarian. Was it? I don't know. They're lying about the veganness of the goat cheese.
Then there was like some bell peppers with some hummus. And some, I think, carrot sticks. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, there was some chicken wings. And so I'm like, okay, so we're eating some of this. And it was, like, pretty good. So then Phoebe's not vegan, but they don't eat cheese.
No, yeah.
That's just a preference, not for, like, reasons. Mm-hmm. Big vag and little vag. So,
Like veg.
V cheese. Well, goat cheese is not cow cheese, so obviously it's not dairy. You're right.
I guess.
Of course. Brave Little Taylor, it's a long story. I'm so sorry, but essentially we were invited to this event, and it's awful.
To make content for it, and we're going to email them and say we don't feel comfortable making content because we would never suggest that anybody go to this hotel.
We won't say their name here, but if anyone wants to message us, we will absolutely tell you the name of the hotel.
Please don't go and leave them bad reviews.
No. Yes, sorry.
We don't want them to, like, get roasted, and we don't want to get in trouble.
We are not looking for them to get bad reviews. Again, as we've said, every person that we've talked to has, like, besides Marsha, but she doesn't work at the hotel.
Right.
Every person we talked to at the hotel was very nice. Didn't correctly gender Phoebe, but we didn't expect every single person that we saw to
it was more like a little trash can, so we'll do that. But
anyway, could they have been lying and saying it's the greatest of all time cheese? Maybe.
I couldn't fucking
Is the
tell
food
you.
giving wedding or is it giving high school graduation party?
Oh.
It's giving high school graduation event that your school is putting on, but only for the kids who, like, barely graduated. Like, they don't...
Like,
the
they're
school,
like,
the
I don't know if
school's
you
not
guys
proud of
really
you.
deserve something nice.
Right. So
And we're proud of you. But the school's not. Oh my
I want
God.
to follow Marsha on TikTok.
Oh
You
my
don't.
God. I promise you don't.
Anyway, so we're like eating this food. The second couple, the one that was waiting on the beach, is like, "Can we sit with you guys?" And we're like, oh, "Yes," because like they seem really
cute.
nice. Again, both of the couples seem really nice.
Oh yeah.
Also, you need to pay $400 for graduating. Not for graduating. It turns out like. So the two couples had to get their own marriage licenses, which if you've never been married, it's like between $30 and $50, depending on what county you're in or city or whatever. They had to do all that part by themselves.
Really quick, just as a pause, I'd like to say, this is the doorway, and this is how much the sink was in the way of the doorway as you go into the hotel room.
Yeah.
Just to be clear. That's about accurate.
The apps are giving say testicles.
They are.
They are.
Very much. And we're pro testicles.
Right.
But it's a weird flex.
It's a weird flex. Fire hazard what? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
So, it's great. I love when the sink is easily accessible.
Oh my God.
So we're like, you know, how long have you guys been together? And that couple's only been together a little less than 2 years.
They're super cute, really sweet.
They're really sweet. We're chatting with them. And then, like, it's not hard to be ordained, but I doubt she thought that far ahead. Literally, it seems like they found her on the street that morning.
It really.
And that's fine. Anyway, I'm like lightheaded from yelling. So, we're like chatting with them.
Do you want more water, baby?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, I can get that. That's no worry. See if you can find earplugs.
We're chatting with them and we're like, okay, like, you know, how long have you guys been together? They've been together a little less than 2 years. And I'm like, so what made you like decide to do this? Because I want to know how they found out. And that bride, that one of those brides, is like, oh, well, we got the email about it and decided that maybe we'd want to do it. And I was like, you got an email about it? And she's like, yeah. And so what we think happened is that this hotel went through like the hashtag gay. They said earplugs, yeah. Are there earplugs on here? They provided earplugs because the walls are so thin. They had so many complaints that they now provide earplugs. Anyway, so there's a shirt option with headphones/earbuds on it. I know, but I don't think that'll get the same vibe. I'm thinking maybe I'll put like a sleep mask because I think that'll be the closest thing. Or maybe this. Anyway, so I think I'll have to make it. It doesn't matter. So they are. I'm just gonna go into just chatting. No, I guess I'll leave it like this. There's a hair tie knot above that kind of gives off earbud vibes. Okay. Oh, what about this? Whatever. So what we think they may have done is we think the hotel may have gone through Instagram and clicked like the hashtag,
Either
like
looked at hashtags,
like hashtag queer or hashtag
or
lesbians.
done like data mining. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, or maybe they bought the information from a wedding expo. Like we don't know if they bought these people.
It is. We're not sure what it was.
But literally we know that these couples just got an email essentially that looks just like ours that says, "Hey, are you interested in this event?" But because we're influencers, which they clearly didn't know.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing: is that the people who were at the event, like the event coordinator, like I don't think she knew, but the person who we were talking to initially, like literally we were
the
like
person who was emailing us who wasn't there.
They asked us to see like examples of other content
I
that
totally
we had made.
forgot.
They asked us for like screenshots of our analytics and all those things. So like I don't think that they didn't know. I don't know.
I have no idea. But anyway.
But we find out that these people have been emailed.
They just got an email that says, "Are you interested in this event?" And they basically said yes. Are they on TikTok too? The couple maybe have a following that was the planner's game. I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. They
I don't
definitely
know. Maybe, but like I don't think so. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
And I don't know if it's that they've stayed at the hotel before.
Right, and that was the thing, like, we were like, maybe they, like, kept information of people who'd stayed there before.
Yeah.
Were they just playing along with you? I have no idea, because they don't know that we got an email about this event. So we don't know if they bought data. We don't know if they went through the hashtags and just... Because they emailed the email that's attached to our Instagram.
But all of a sudden, it felt very sketchy that they had received an email.
Did they find Marcia through her TikTok? I don't know. Because the hotel isn't on TikTok, right?
No, they are.
Oh.
But I don't think that they... Not the hotel, but, like, the hospitality. Like, the hotel chain, essentially.
I didn't ask if they paid.
They must have, though, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
We weren't going to say, like, we're here for free.
Yeah.
We were told, like, what, like, the money equivalent of our whatever was. So I really have no idea. Oh, my God, Sarah Liza, hello, you're a star. But I know, I'm so sorry. Oh, my God.
Anyway, so they're like, yeah, we got the email, and we, like, been together a while, and we're like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's get married. That sounds really fun. And we were like, yeah, no, it was so beautiful today. And it was. The weather was really nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, Phoebe has had, like, kind of, not quite a migraine, but their head's been a little crunchy kind of all day.
Yeah.
It's, like, kind of hot in this gathering space, assuming because, like, the door's open and, like,
right.
There's, like, people moving around and there's, like, food that used to be hot sitting next to us.
Right.
And so we eat our food and we're, like, looking at each other and I'm, like, whispering, like, I can't wait to get in the room and debrief. Like, and Phoebe's like, oh, my God, like, I can't wait to get in the room and, like, relax and, like,
because I'm, like, I'm not feeling good at that point.
Has the bride come back yet? Yeah, she came back. She got some food.
She did eventually. She didn't hear the beautiful toast.
She did not hear the beautiful toast.
But she was there.
So, anyway, and so I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to seem like rude influencers who, like, show up to this event, kind of roll our eyes and leave. So, like, let me go find the event coordinator. Oh, by the way, Marcia's left. Like, the minute that the event coordinator was like... The minute that the event coordinator was like, this was a beautiful place, blah, 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 Marcia's like, amen. Anyway, we gots to run, hun. See you girls later, whatever. Yeah. So Marcia's not there anymore, just the event coordinator.
Yeah.
Are the dogs still in the car? No, they are not.
No, oh my God, no.
To be clear, I think the dogs were literally in the car with one of their guests who was like, I guess I can't put the dogs in the room because we're not allowed in yet.
Even though it's a pet-friendly
hotel.
Like, that's the other thing that's unhinged. Like, they clearly didn't think to even offer early check-in to these folks. Like,
later pursuing girl bosses Marcia out.
Yeah.
So, anyway... So I'm like, let me ask if there's, like, anything else going on. Because for $400, maybe there's a huge secret reception where they hand you gold later. Because this cold food...
Can't be it.
And advertising, like, music cannot be...
Yeah. What's happening?
What was worth $400?
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, is there, like, anything else going on after this? Like, and I thought maybe they were going to do, like, Match Your Mate or, like, the Newlywed Game or, like, I didn't know what else was going to go on,
right.
And again, like, even if Phoebe has a migraine, like, it would be rude of us to leave unless we really, really had to.
Yeah, like, we could have stuck it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, no, this is it. You guys are more than welcome. And I was like, yeah, like, we just drove really far, so we want to go check into our room, kind of, like, maybe, like, shower and refresh. And she's like, no, absolutely, enjoy your stay. Thank you, girls, so much for coming. And we're like, of course. Yeah. So we're walking towards the only elevator, another non-accessibility point. There's only one elevator. And granted, we just happened to luck out, I think, by not having to wait for it that much. Because, like, there are people staying in the hotel.
Yeah. A lot of drunk, sunburnt men.
A lot of drunk, sunburnt men. A lot of them.
Which is fine. But weird, because we were told it was a small, queer woman-owned hotel.
There's so many drunk white men.
Yes. I don't know if anybody's noticed. There is no phone in this room.
Yeah.
And it's not that I've forgotten it.
Anyway, so we're like, okay, cool, we're going to go to the room. So we're waiting for the elevator. And there's, like, these drunk, sunburnt men. And they actually were pretty nice. Like, they had a cooler that we really liked. We complimented them. They were like, yeah, it's really cool. Haha. So we're, like, chatting. By the way, these windows that Phoebe are designing are inaccurate. They did not have blinds on them.
No.
And that will be important later.
Yep.
So, there are videos of the rooms on Instagram, and this is so accurate. Holy shit.
They're secret. It's for like close friends on Instagram because we started bitching about this early. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, the people on our close friends. I'm sorry that you're hearing this twice.
Yeah, or if they're folks who've known us for a hot minute.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So we finally get to our room. As we're walking through the hallway to get to our room, there's like these stripes painted on the side.
Yeah.
And you can see that they didn't use like painter's tape, or if they did, it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Because there's like, you know, like paint has clearly leaked. So like it's not a straight line. So it's not professionally done. For sure.
Oh, the hotel's Insta? Oh, fuck, Shark Dad. Yeah, I guess go look at the hotel's Insta.
You know.
You can't tell how bad the flooring is, but anyway. And I'd like to also be clear, like, if this is the hotel from the past week in Sarah Eliza, let me tell you, babe, it's the worst hotel in the whole world.
They have a whole highlight if you're on our close friends
Nobody
story.
Go say anything, like, stressful to them. Hi, Miranda. No, please don't leave them bad reviews. Like, we're not
asking. Because, again, like, every person we talked to was really nice. They just shouldn't be in hotel management. They should be in, like, lying on the internet management.
Yeah, because they do a great job.
At that.
Great job at that.
So anyway, y'all don't talk about the event on the stories. I'll listen to the room chaos on repeat.
Yeah.
They have a picture on their Instagram of burnt fries.
Zoe Lou, they do not. Let me look.
Anyway, so we are walking through the hallway. We look up. There's unfinished wood. Unfinished wood is going to be a theme. I think they were going for rustic, and all I see is like splinters. But there's unfinished wood blocking. So here's like the smoke alarm on the wall, right? It's not on the ceiling. It's on like the top of the wall. There's unfinished wood blocking the top, the sides, and the front of that smoke alarm. So the only place that smoke could get in to trigger the smoke alarm is underneath.
Yeah, Miranda, welcome.
And I don't know the laws technically.
No.
But it's not giving me I feel safe in this hotel.
No, God, no.
I think they're lying on the internet management. It's called being a social media manager.
Oh my God. No, but like
Rustic, you live in a decrepit bar now.
And here's the other thing, and I hate to be this guy, but like I've seen...
It's sustainable?
I've seen shabby chic, right? And if it was any one of
it's
these...
it's clearly supposed to be like industrial...
Thanks, Dad.
Rustic.
Yes, and if it was just industrial rustic, if it was just, you know what I mean? Like, that would be fine. Our main complaint... Oh my God. And Saber G's like, we don't want people, if you message us privately, we'll tell you the name of the hotel. We don't want people, but like it genuinely, like so many of these things all piled on top. And it did Mythos Magic. So we literally walk in and Morgan opens the door, and I actually have it on film, and I won't show you guys because it's so blurry. You can't really see.
No, but you could hear it.
Yeah, that's true. Morgan opens the door, and you hear
so
her.
I'm like, oh, do you want to film me, like, opening the door?
Right.
Like, to use for our reel that we're supposed to make?
Content to make.
And Phoebe's like, oh, yeah, that'd be cute.
And you can hear Morgan go, oh, it's 5 seconds long.
Because as I open the door, I'm talking half an inch. The door almost runs into this counter that Cephalobot is standing next to.
Yeah, I'll show you. You hear Morgan go, oh.
Because, like,
it's right there.
So what you have to do is, I'm going to try and demonstrate.
It's right there.
So what you have to do is have your little card.
Yeah.
Open the door. Like unlock it, then open it.
Yeah.
And you have to open the door all the way past, like, 180 degrees.
Right.
So that the door is falling into the open closet.
Right.
To then scooch past the huge counter that's as soon as you open the door.
Huge. Which, by the way, this counter is much nicer. It's ugly. It's like literally
it's very
like
ugly.
a square. Like it is a square that is like weird, unfinished, like metal, like stainless steely with like unfinished like wood on the outside of it.
It's definitely not ADA compliant.
It doesn't feel
And I know that like
compliant.
the way that hotels work, as far as I understand, is like only some of the rooms have to be ADA compliant.
The whole thing, Brave Little Tailor. I have no idea. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type the name of the hotel in the comments, and I need everybody to be cool. We're not going to go comment on their shit. We're not going to go send them any messages because you don't want your friends, the couple of goofs, to get in trouble. To be sued or get in trouble or have something stressful happen. So please, 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 everybody be cool. No, that's true, Artemis. That's true. Please, everybody be cool. And you can go see. No comments, no likes, no nothing. Don't give them any. Okay, cool. Okay. That's the name. That's what that is.
Please don't leave any bad reviews.
Please don't leave bad reviews.
That's not what we want.
It's not what we're trying to do. I just want to make sure none of y'all ever go there. Please. I'll type it again in case the things are going too quickly. Okay, there it is again. All right, great. So
anyway.
So we walk in, and it's like literally, so it was like kind of like a regular-ish.
I'm so hungry. Sorry.
Temperature. No, you're fine, baby. There's a regular temperature in the hallway. And so we're like, okay, like regular. Morgan opens, goes, oh, and then as we walk into the room, it's like, whew, heat wave. So hot. And it's literally a heat wave in Washington, right? In Long Beach, Washington. And it doesn't happen very often. Yes, thank you, Adam Tompkins. Exactly that energy. We're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. We just want to make sure our friends stay safe and don't pay $250 for this experience. The ropes! You got me the ropes! So anyway, we are in there. It's so hot. And literally, we're trying to find, like, we're like, oh, they must have, like, not had the air conditioning on. Because in our brains, of course they have air conditioning. It's a $250 hotel room. There's no possible way that they don't have air conditioning. So we're like, I'll show you what it looks like. As we, like, enter, we're like, oh. And we're like, okay, this is all right. Okay. Looking and noticing, to be clear, like this little portion right here, like fully unfinished wood, just nailed.
The top of it is stained, and you can see the drips on the side of it where they didn't stain the side.
Where they didn't stain the side or the underside. It's this one piece of wood with like two pipes underneath it. This thing here under the television, right? This weird blue crate that I've put is a thing that they labeled "We Recycle." This shelf, this like. That's up on the wall is literally two crates that have been nailed into the wall with literally a actual tin bucket for ice. There's no coffee maker. There's no phone.
There's no microwave.
There's no microwave. There is quite literally
a mini fridge on a crate.
A mini fridge on an actual crate with all these kind of like wires and plugins and things, and this light that's hanging from the ceiling. First of all there is an ice bucket liner. All of their I wish socially enough, and we'll get there. But like all of their light bulbs are Edison light bulbs, which must be what they spent their entire budget on. And like for a place that says it's sustainable, my brain's like, oh, okay. Like there is going to be like LEDs or like, I don't know, anything. They're all Edison bulbs. And this one that's hanging from the ceiling is not hanging from the ceiling. It is a rope light that is looped around a pole that is sticking out. Mm-hmm. Exposed random wires, so many of them. So you go over here and I'm like, oh my God, where's the air conditioning? And we turn and look, and this sort of like open, weird little like closet situation over here has like two robes hanging from it, like robes. Yeah. And then we go over, and if you look in there, there is a tower fan. And so Morgan goes, found the air conditioning, and I go, no.
And if you guys have never used one of those tower fans, this is the example I keep giving. They don't blow very hard.
No.
It's like someone's trying to learn how to whistle very close to your face.
Brave little Taylor, we got a box fan, and we'll tell you about it later. So Morgan goes, found the air conditioning, and I go, no.
They push hot air around.
So I walk over, and underneath, first of all, this window, there's no blinds on it, okay? It is a fucking, like, pole that they've put up there that is bent down in the middle, okay? Yes, Frosty. Down in the middle, and then they have two shower curtains.
And they are obviously shower curtains.
Visibly shower
curtains. They're
curtains.
not drapes. They're not nice drapes. And, like, you don't need nice drapes in a hotel.
No.
You do need drapes.
You do, right. And because they are shower curtains, on a pole. They're like very difficult to open and close. And with them all the way stretched out, they do not fully cover this window, right? So the view is beautiful, but it is hot in the room. And so I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, no. Like, literally, Morgan, thank you, bravest little Taylor. I tried really hard. Morgan is literally trying to find on her phone, like, a place that has air conditioning for us to stay. And I'm like, we do not have hundreds of dollars to spend on a hotel room. Like, we have to sleep here. I'm so sorry. I guess we're just not going to sleep. Like, I have no idea. So I'm, like, moving the shower curtains. And I'm like, no, there's got to be some kind of air conditioning. And there is quite literally one piece of wood. And me, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm like, oh, okay, maybe
there's just a piece of wood.
Just a piece of wood. And I don't see a hinge, but I'm not really looking for one.
Also untreated and unstained.
Untreated, unstained.
Splinter Town.
A piece of wood. And so I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe this is where the air conditioning is. Maybe I just have to like move it. So I grab part of it and sort of like tug on it a little. Immediately comes out. It's just been loosely nailed into the wall and it's covering an opening. Just like a
hole in the wall. They've just nailed a square foot of wood. They've just nailed a square foot of wood to cover up a huge hole that was in the wall.
Yes. Oh my God, Rank Analysis. You have so much an immersive escape room. The real event was the immune system you build along the way. Genuinely. It was so unhinged.
So Phoebe's like, I'm gonna call for the front desk, which again, there's no room. There's no phone in the room.
And I literally look on because I'm like, we have to call the front desk and ask them for them to move us to a room that has air conditioning. Spoiler alert, there's no air conditioning anywhere. So I'm looking online and I'm like, okay. Let me see what the reviews are. Let me see if anyone has said anything.
So if you guys really want to have a fun time, read the Google reviews on this hotel. Again, please don't leave any.
No.
We are not looking to we don't want them to be angry at us. We don't want to be sued.
We don't want to get in trouble.
But please read them.
The ones that are good are so good. And I don't know if they bought them.
They had to have bought good reviews. There's no way.
Let me see if there's pictures of us. Let me see, Spiffy Tiffy. Here's the other thing is we also didn't consent to them using our photos in anything. So I'm really curious. Where? Oh, yeah. Just kidding. I do know the pictures that you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't seen these.
These ones. Yeah, they didn't send them to us. We didn't receive them. Y'all. They are Sister Paws, so that's the other thing. Okay, backing up just a little bit. I'm reading the reviews. We're in the hotel room, and I'm like, oh, fuck, there's not air conditioning. So I call, and I'm like, hi. We weren't aware that there wasn't air conditioning. Can we get an additional fan? Ours doesn't work real good. So they bring in a box fan.
I think they might have been a sweet pea. The sweetest person brings a box
fan. Oh my God, they were lovely. They were so lovely. They bring us a box fan, and it's not their fault. They're incredibly lovely. Thank you, Mr. Pig Vig. That's exactly what it is. They bring us a box fan.
That is Marsha.
It is fully rusted on the inside.
I'm talking, it looked like it was painted orange. That's how rusted it is.
That is Marsha. Please, no one bully Marsha.
Please don't bully anyone.
Don't bully anyone. Fully fucking rusted, okay? And it's missing 2 screws.
It's missing 2 screws on the front, meaning when you turn it on, it goes woo 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 because the thing is
if you look in the
wobbling.
tagged pictures, Socially Inept, and you scroll down a couple, it's the person who's the photographer posted some of them.
Also, if you guys want to put screenshots in the Discord.
Oh, please do.
And talk back and forth.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine if you want to do that.
Just please don't leave any bad reviews, and please don't tell anyone you heard about it from us.
No, please, for the love of God. Yeah. They said, do something fun. Hi, Crystal the Weird Potato. Welcome. Thank you. Please don't bully. So, anyway, Unhinged. I don't even remember where I was. Unhinged.
So you call the front desk. We ask for another fan. They bring another fan.
Right.
Phoebe still has a migraine. And so Phoebe's like, okay, we have to leave.
Super
I'm
cute.
not going to be able to get rid of this migraine if, I can't, cool down.
Right.
Can you scoot over some?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, baby.
I'm not going to be able to get rid of the migraine if I can't cool down. And
right.
I'm like, okay, I guess we'll go get in the car where we have air conditioning. And from there, we'll do some Googling on, food.
Because it was still too hot outside. So, we literally, that's okay, Pius. It was really funny. And now we get to tell this story to our friends.
The hands up silly picture?
The
Google reviews are something fucking else.
Someone got chemical burns from the pool And there was an investigation that was opened up about it. If you read the Google reviews.
Anyway, so we're like, okay, we go get in the car.
I'm just like trying to feel better. I'm like, I can't feel better. I literally have to be not this temperature. Like, oh my God. Like,
the location is the best thing about the hotel. It is.
All of them.
Location's nice.
Somebody said it looks like everything was handmade, but not by a craftsman, and that's my favorite
nailed
one.
it.
I don't know.
What code inspector are they paying off? I don't know.
Couldn't
but they
fucking
have
tell you.
to be.
So anyway, we're like, okay, let's go get some food.
So Phoebe Googles, finds a Thai place. They call the Thai place. They say we're gonna be closed till the 28th.
Yes.
Because it's probably because it's too hot, and I guess AC is like hard to find around here. I don't know.
Yes, Caitlin. I'm typing the name. Do not go leave them reviews. Do not go post snotty things. Only be kind. Oh my God.
Anyway, so we find a place to eat. Phoebe calls. They're like, no, we can't. Like, we're not open. Was there a third couple that never showed? No. There were 3 couples, including us.
They didn't tell us that we were included in the couples. Like, we didn't know from the get-go that we were supposed to be doing it. Like, that information was never, like told to us. Like, that we're the third couple.
We're the third couple. We just didn't know.
We had no idea.
So, anyway, we get in the car. Phoebe finds this place. It's closed. They call a different Thai place. By the way, like, this is like a cute little coastal town.
Yeah.
The town is cute. I'm not here to like talk shit about it. It is like, it felt like we were on the Truman Show because things were called like pharmacy, lawyer, store.
There were so many realty places.
But like, nothing seemed to be for sale.
Yes, the bobbiest.
And most of the restaurants seemed really busy, except for this one place where Phoebe has put a to-go order in. And I didn't want Thai food, so I didn't get anything there. I wasn't super hungry yet.
I love Thai food. It's my favorite kind of food.
Yeah. So Phoebe calls, and like, there's only one couple inside, and then the woman who appears to be running the restaurant. So the couple that's inside, if I had to guess, I'd say they were about 6,000 years old.
I thought they were a lesbian couple.
Tell them why.
Well, so if I had to do like an impression of this couple,
let's be them. You be the man.
Okay.
Here's the couple sitting at the table as we walk in.
Imagine us like 10 times more wrinkly. And I'm not anti-old people. I'm pro-old people. But like, I don't realize that the second person is a man until he speaks, because he is genuinely wearing like a coconut head style wig.
It looks like Lord Farquaad if it were like a little grayer. And this man is 6,000 years old. It's so clearly not his hair.
No.
And that's fine. Like, if you, like, obviously we
fine.
are pro people wearing wigs, pro doing whatever makes them comfortable. But it is funny because we're like, oh, maybe there are lesbians in the town. And then we're like, no.
Very berries and cream. Very berries and cream. And good for him. Good for them, right?
They were just on a date to a little Thai place.
And they were cute. And we didn't realize that this is the only place in town that's not super busy. So I pick up the food, and as I like go to like pay and like get the order, like I notice that this woman's very sweet, but there's a lot of like debris.
It's like, it's gross. Like,
it was, yeah, and like the reason I'm like hesitant to like say that is because it has nothing to do with Thai food.
No, it's not,
because it has nothing to do with this being a small business. Like, I love Thai food. I love to support like businesses owned by not white people, especially like food places.
But it's like dusty.
It was pretty grody. It didn't look particularly clean.
Yes,
and this
like,
is genuinely the only time I've ever had that experience at a Thai food place. So it wasn't even something I thought to like check for, and I won't going forward because it's not a normal experience.
So as Phoebe's like checking out with the woman who was very sweet.
Yeah,
and she's
there's
like,
a lot of like receipts everywhere and some like weird garbage. And I'm like, okay. So as we leave, Morgan has this picture on her phone, but genuinely they had these in the wall, like wire shelving that as if they were for like magazines, right? And there was literally a empty like water bottle with a weird label on it with some fake flowers in it. And then if you look towards the bottom, there's an actual bag of dog poop.
It's clearly a bag of dog poop
in a doggy bag
that someone has left
on
there.
nice shelf.
There's also a club soda.
Yes, Artemis, exactly.
Bottle?
They did seem traumatized.
Like a bottle that used to have club soda in it that was empty that they've put fake flowers in that's kind of falling over.
And a bag, literally a little
bag of dog poop.
doggy bag of dog poop.
Very obviously dog poop.
And so as we're walking out of there and Morgan shows me this, like the picture and we're like talking about this thing, I literally was like, there's nothing else vegetarian in this town. This is the only food I can eat because I'm not going to pay for the fucking hotel's food because they have a restaurant, but I'm not fucking buying that. And so I'm like, okay, all right. So anyway, I'm like, I literally to Morgan, I'm like, I think this is the first time I've ever been like, yo, I might get food poisoning. And if I'm throwing up, like, you just have to know.
Just remind me.
Literally dog doo-doo. So anyway, that was unhinged. And so we're driving around trying to find Morgan any kind of food anywhere.
Yeah, we sit in the car while Phoebe eats their food with our air conditioning going. And I'm like, okay, it looks like most places close at... I don't think it works here. I think you have to go to our Instagram. People keep saying when you try to do it through here, the
chat's
work.
wrong?
Not the chat. The link says, like, you're not invited, actually.
Oh. Well, that's weird.
It was clean. That was the end of the positives.
Yes!
Anyway... If you can't get the Discord through that link, if you go to our CouplaGoofs Instagram and get through it that way, that one works for some reason.
I'm sorry, friends. Yeah, I can definitely, it's weird because it's the same link, but anyway.
So we find, like, it's one of those towns where everything closes early.
Right, and it's a Sunday.
So, like, most of the restaurants have already closed. Because it's like 5:30, almost 6 by this point, and most of them closed at 5.
McKinley.
So I find, because there's a McDonald's, but I had McDonald's for lunch, and there's nothing else. There's no Domino's, Pizza Hut.
Nothing.
There isn't like a Walmart or a, like, anything. Also, we don't have a microwave, so it wouldn't have mattered. There is like a very small shop that's like essentially a Walgreens, but with no pharmacy, owned by this one dude, and like we got some water there.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
Thanks, Artemis. Good to know. Oh my god, that's so many people. Hi, everybody. Sorry you're hearing about our ridiculous weekend.
So,
oh my god.
Anyway, so I find it's called like Giuletti's Spaghetti House.
Yeah, something like that.
And I was like, how hard? I can get spaghetti.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we...
the chlorine burn review?
The chlorine burn review
is bleached that person's swimsuit. That person's swimsuit became pink.
They duped y'all out to Nowheresville.
Yes,
and like,
Sapphic.
And like, it's like food deserts exist.
Oh my
and,
god!
Like, I'm not trying to be like fuck this town, but
it's
like
not about this town.
And like, that's also not the hotel's fault.
No.
Like, it is something I guess I could have Googled.
Not a certain thing.
Surely they can't fuck up some spaghetti.
So that's what we thought.
That's what I'm thinking. So we go to the spaghetti house, and Phoebe has to pee.
Right.
And so they're like, I'm gonna go inside.
Because there's no public restrooms.
Right,
like
everywhere.
Anywhere. Because it's a coast town. Like, that's fine.
So Phoebe's like, I'm gonna go pee, like, while you wait. Because I was like, do you want to sit down and eat? Or do you want to get it to go? And Phoebe's like, either way, like, I'm gonna go pee. Just ask what's best. But I was literally informed that Long Beach is the battleground of the coast. Oh, spicy. I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
But anyway, so I'm waiting, and there's a person in front of me who's waiting. And there's a, like, 50-ish-year-old waitress who's like, hey girlies, like, I'll be with you in a minute, like, sorry, you know, it's busy. And like, I don't know her name. She's giving like Lori vibes. Lori says that it's busy. And when I say the spaghetti house is as big as our room right now, I'm not exaggerating. It's like, a
pretty big room.
There's like 7 tables in it, and I would say 5 of them are filled. And so she's like, you know, it's so busy. And I'm like, okay. And like, I'm, you know,
maybe they have orders that have been put in, like,
right, like, and I don't know, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't seem very busy, because like at most of the other tables had like already had their food like almost done eating.
And again, we already have like tried to go to like a couple different restaurants at this point that have been closed, so that's why we're like, oh fuck, Morgan has to get spaghetti. So I'm in the bathroom, Morgan's having this conversation.
So then she comes back and she's like, okay, are you girls here to pick up orders you've already put in?
Right.
And me and the person in front of me is like, oh no, like I was gonna put in a to-go order or like sit down if that's okay. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she comes around the corner and she's like, so we're not taking any more orders the rest of the night. It's our cook's first day, and we're about 2 hours behind right now, and so I don't want to like stress her out anymore. And I'm super pro that.
That's totally fine.
That's so fine.
That's so cool.
And I was like, no worries. Like, I'm personally irritated because I was like, I'm gonna have to eat at the fucking hotel. But
because we don't want to give them
fault.
money. Because
whatever.
they've given us no air conditioning.
Was Marsha also in the spaghetti house?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I'm like, okay, so Phoebe finishes in the bathroom. We sit in the car, and I'm like, Phoebe, I need you to look at this menu.
Exactly, Sarah Sapphic. I don't know how spaghetti can take 2 hours.
Hold on. I'm like, Phoebe, please look at the menu at the spaghetti house, because I found it, like, online, you know? And there's 5 items and 2 desserts.
Right.
And the 5 items are different types of pasta that you could potentially add chicken to.
Right.
And I was like, now, I'm sorry that it's the cook's first day, and maybe it's just because I'm so hungry. But, like, how can you be 2 hours behind when your menu looks like this?
And again, like, if it was any one of these one things, we just didn't have a great time in Long Beach, Washington. And it's not the fault of any of these people individually. It, like, the whole thing, no, exactly, Celeste. It just kept
oh my god.
being...
One of the hotel's rooms highlight, there's a video of them sprinkling glitter in one of the beds, which is 1, certainly not sustainable, and 2, literally considered hazing when I was in a sorority in college.
One of the reviews says they found beer bottles in their room. I did see that one, DJB. Another one said that they literally stayed there for 6 days and not once did housekeeping come.
No, they said housekeeping said that they tried to come once.
Yeah.
Literally, and they
Leo.
said their dogs were there, and they were like, we did not leave our dogs.
Yes,
in
that's
the
what
room.
it felt like. That is what it felt like. And Cactus, it's if the... Yeah, someone can send the link to the pics, but it's their tagged section on their Instagram, and if you want to post them into the Discord and have folks look at the Discord, like that's totally fine too.
Weasel Queen, and like for all we know, the cook is like some 15-year-old and this is their first job. Like it was not the cook's fault.
I'm so sorry, Anna.
But I was
Have
a little
night,
bit
sleepy.
like, okay, now
Right.
I don't not believe Lori.
No. But the reason that we're bummed out is we have to now go spend money at this hotel.
So we're like, okay, let's just go. We'll go to the room. Hopefully it's cooled down by now.
Because we had left the windows open.
We left the windows
had
open, the fans
both of our
blowing.
fans on, right?
And like it was supposed to get down to 58 that night, and it did.
Right.
So like the room did cool off once the sun went down.
Right.
But like, anyway, so we go, and we're like, we get to our room, and Phoebe's like, okay, like the restaurant is busy. Let's just get room service. It doesn't cost anything extra. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I look at the menu. And, like, if you guys want to go look at their menu, you can.
Oh, feeling and feeling. I wish I could tell you that.
But, like, it just wasn't anything super interesting. And I was like, whatever.
And it was all pretty expensive.
I'll get mac and cheese. $16 mac and cheese, to be clear.
Max Cannon, I'm so sorry. The floor squares. Yes. We haven't even gotten to the floor squares.
No, because I haven't fallen yet.
You're right. Go ahead.
So I'm like, whatever. We order the $16 mac and cheese. Phoebe
Yes.
gets a dessert from there.
Right. Yes. and we're like, and literally like Morgan's like, no, like fuck it, like I'm not even that hungry. And I'm like, baby, like you're gonna be hungry. Like let's just get this food. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like we'll pay the fucking $16. I'll get like a fun little dessert. Like we'll have a good time. Literally the bobbiest. And so we're like, okay, like whatever. Fine, fucking whatever.
So
Bad boy, you're
they
right.
deliver it to our room because that's how room service works. And this,
Right.
again, like I said, the staff
Super
lovely.
nice. Lovely.
Every person we talked to super nice.
So kind.
$16 mac and cheese. They can't afford AC. They're sustainable. Haven't you heard? It's sustainable to just
$16.
let people swelter in your rooms.
And it wasn't like Kraft mac and cheese, like it was like fancy, like.
It
But,
was fancy,
so
but it wasn't
Morgan
worth
gets it.
$16.
But go ahead, tell them what happens.
So I answer the door, and the person who's delivering the food is like, here you go. And when I say it is like a spray painted Coca-Cola crate. Because again, rustic.
Because they're sustainable. It's rustic.
$4 to add bacon to the mac and cheese.
No, literally, because they're like, did you want to add bacon or shrimp to the mac and cheese, like on the phone? And I'm like, and then I go, did you want bacon or mac and cheese? Or bacon or shrimp? And Morgan's like, sure, I guess I'll have bacon. And I go, it's $4 more. And she goes, oh, no. But anyway.
Yeah. So he hands me the crate, and I'm like,
So here's me as
do
Morgan.
I just take this whole crate? And he's like, yeah. And again, as we described, the way that the door works, you have to open it all the way to be able to get in.
Right.
So I'm standing at the door, and I'm like, okay. So I take the crate, and I turn around,
Leo.
and I can't leave that way because that counter's in the way.
Right.
So the person who brought the food is like, oh, here's what we should do. You hold the crate, and I'll open the door the rest of the way for you. Then you walk by, and then I'll close the door for you.
Which we
As
shouldn't.
if they have to do it for every single
We shouldn't
room.
have to do like a puzzle type walk around interaction $250 hotel room.
It was fancy mac and cheese. You know what else is fancy? Air conditioning.
No, I'm sure it was. Smith was magic. I'm sure it was. But so we're like, Jeep. And it literally took, and I'm standing there on the other side of this wall at this point. I'm over here with my titties out because it's so hot. Holding my little.
Cephalobot is the boy delivering the mac and cheese.
Yes, I'm holding my titties. Morgan is over there for what felt like a full 7 minutes having this interaction because I'm like, oh my God, like, did Morgan get murdered? Because at a certain point, I can't really hear her. She's just like shuffling. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so then I'm like, all right, cool, thanks so much. And I take it and I sit it down on our bed. We eat the food.
Our bed, which, by the way, is the worst mattress I've ever slept
if you
on.
read the reviews on Google, they'll say it. But, like, I'm pretty sure it's not real mattresses. I think it's, like, pieces of foam that they have shaped into a mattress.
Yeah.
Also, like, the pillows are so thin.
Yeah.
So thin.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thin and also hard.
So, we're, like, sitting on the bed. I take, like, 2 bites of my food, and I was like, do you have any salt? I would like to be clear that I have, like, the most boring, like, white person palate. Like, I think that, like, ketchup is too spicy if I have too much of it. Like, that's what we're working with.
Right.
That's the way God made me. I'm not apologizing, but I am letting you know because it's important for what I'm about to say.
It's relevant.
This $16 mac and cheese is the blandest mac and cheese I have ever had. To the point where I'm like, I can't eat this. It just tastes like butter. Yeah. Like, it's not anything.
And so I'm like,
I have to go find salt and pepper. I'm gonna go ask the
And
restaurant.
I thought that they would have some in our horrible little crate, but they didn't have any. That's, oh my God, Weasel Queen. Oh my God, Kay, I'm so sorry. Hello, Sister Paws. Hello. And so Morgan leaves to go get salt as I'm sitting there trying to get my migraine to go away, trying to get the room to cool down, which it won't because it's, you know,
right. And I wait in line. Scarlet Arlet. Thank you for subscribing. It's Scarlet Arlet. It is a fever dream.
Oh shit! Sorry, Scarlet Arlet. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so I have to wait in line because there's like a wait for this restaurant.
Yeah.
There's also no AC in the restaurant.
No.
So the poor boy who's working like as the host.
Yeah.
Is like sweating, and finally when it's my turn, I'm like, hey, I'm not looking for a table. Do you have salt and pepper? Like, I just got room service, would love it. Right. And he's like, yeah, of course. Give me a second. And he's gone for like 5 full minutes, and he comes back clearly having taken salt and pepper from a table. Right. Because it's like the full, like, I thought he was gonna have like to go things of salt and pepper, like,
but that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Not a packet of salt.
You know, it's bad when even white people think it's bland.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he's like, this is all I can find. Can you bring it back? Right. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. And I did it. And I'm sorry to that host boy. But I was like, I am not going to, like, my food's probably cold. Yeah. There's no microwave.
It was $16. I'm not going to wait another 15 minutes in line to hand you back this horrible fucking salt and pepper shakers, which, by the way, are like the turny kind. Yeah. Like, they don't even have, oh my God, you would think that. So, and I'm like, okay, so I eat my cold, bland mac and cheese. Right. That was not worth $16. No. And we put all the stuff in the crate, and then we take the crate, and we're like, I guess we'll put it outside for them to pick up, because, like, that's how room service works anywhere else I've ever had it. Right. So we put it outside. As we're trying to do that, silverware keeps falling through it, because it's a crate with holes. Right. Obviously. Right. And so we put it out there. Phoebe's like, okay, you know what? It's about to be sunset. Let's go to the beach. Can we talk about the floor squares first?
Oh, you're right, because that is
when did you fall?
Right before we went to the beach. So as we're getting changed into our swimsuits, I accidentally step on one of these floor squares, that you can see in this demonstration. I step on one of them as I'm like trying to change, and it slides out from under me, and I almost absolutely bust my ass. Because they have not even put rug tape down. Each one of these squares is a separate piece of carpet.
Like the most thin piece of carpet. They look like they're like the free samples.
It's like that carpet you have like in your church or in like a daycare that's like so thin. Right.
Genuinely.
They were wide enough.
Literally. And so Morgan's like trying to, and it like literally slips.
It is a hazard. And once again, ableist.
And,
like,
yeah. And
what if we had like a walker or crutches?
And Morgan goes, this isn't a rug. These are individual scares. And I go, I'm sorry. Thank you, Kay. I'm pretty proud of it. And so I'm like, I'm sorry. And literally as we're like walking around.
We need to wrap up soonish because I'm starving.
We do. We have to get food. So Morgan's walking around in like her bare feet, and we find this wet spot just soaking wet spot here at the end of the bed. Absolutely fucking soaking one of them.
You stepped on the floor.
The most unhinged. So we're like, okay, like it's about to be sunset. Like we have to make some content for this terrible hotel, and we can't make it inside of the rooms because the rooms are so bad. So let's like go out and be literally. No, yeah, let's go be on the beach. Like, it's totally fine. So we go outside.
Because the hotel doesn't own the beach, so it can't be bad.
Right, so the beach must be fine. So in the 45 seconds that we walk towards the beach and towards the sunset, it literally, Morgan gets bit by mosquitoes.
I get bit like 3 or 4 times. Phoebe
45
got bit
seconds.
Definitely twice.
Yes, yeah.
Again, like, they can't control the bugs. I so get that.
So we're like, okay, whatever, fuck it. Let's just go to the pool. Because, like, every pool in the Pacific Northwest, we're like, certainly it's indoors.
Yeah.
Certainly it's indoors. So we go to the pool area, right? And as we go to enter, like, the gate,
I'm not exaggerating.
There is a family of 5 sprinting, covered in towels, literally saying, oh my God, the mosquitoes, hollering. And they go, good luck as they're running away. Sprinting.
They were like, there are so many mosquitoes, good luck.
Hightailing it. It's like got like a cover, but it's outside. They've not like fucking
There's not even citronella candles.
Citronella candles, like nothing. Like genuinely nothing. And they've got this like weird like barrel sauna type situation, and I took a video of Morgan. Let me see if I can show y'all. It's 3 seconds long, and I just stopped taking it because I go, never mind, fuck it, let's get out of here.
Mosquitoes are so sustainable.
They're so sustainable. It's 4 seconds. I'll show you. So here's Morgan's cute little back, and it's here.
You can't really see it.
She literally, it's just mosquitoes, like so many mosquitoes.
You
and
can
we're
put it
like,
in Discord.
I could. So we're just like, fuck, let's fucking get out of here. Let's go back, like whatever.
They made a mosquito breeding ground.
They did. They literally did.
Well, I don't know why they didn't like. I don't know why their
Dorian,
pool isn't like at least screened in, if not absolutely inside, or at least put some citronella candles out.
Anything at all. And so we're like, okay, this has been fun. So we just essentially go back to the hotel, and we're like, whatever. We're just gonna like sit and watch HGTV, and then we're like, well, you know what will be fun? Yes, I can with this magic. Remind me when we get done with this.
Yeah.
So and we have to get off of stream soon so we can hang out with my family.
We're almost to the end of it anyway, because we're almost to the end. Or a bug zapper, yeah.
Anything. Literally anything. And so we're like, okay, whatever, like we'll hang out in the room. And so we're like watching HGTV, and like the room's starting to cool down, and we're like having a nice time. We're like, oh, like let's take a sweet shower.
We're like, the shower looked nice.
Yeah, the shower
looks clean.
The only part that looks pretty in this room, really. And so we're like, okay, cute, like we'll take a shower. And like, you know, when we take sweet showers, it's mostly us like improving, being like old people washing each other's hair. It's like very goofy, like very nonsensical. So we're like, well, that'll be fun. We love to shower together. It's goofy. It's a good time. Whatever. So we turn on the shower, and when I say the overpowering smell of just like must and mold.
You guys know when like you go to like your grandparents' house and you use like their sink in like their shed.
Yeah.
And it smells like old metal.
Like old pipes. It's just like nasty. Like nasty.
Like the water appeared clear, but I have no idea how it was clear because it smelled so bad.
Because it's immediately like froggy in there, like super, because it's like hot, right? And steamy. And then it's like, oh my God. Like the worst, like a horrible smell. And
Awful.
so we're like, okay,
Guess we
never
won't take a
mind.
shower.
Never mind.
So then we're just like, okay, whatever, fine. We'll just go to sleep. The room did eventually get cold enough that we did sleep some.
Yeah.
Not great, because again,
No.
It's the worst mattress
My
and worst
back
pillows
and
I've
neck
ever heard.
hurt so bad.
Ever had, I mean?
Like so bad. Oh my God. 7.
7, it was bad.
I'm so sorry. It was
So
bad.
we set an alarm for early because we didn't want to be there any earlier. I
Yeah.
think the other absolutely bold part of this is at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
on our next morning, which is the day we checked out, they send us an email that says, hey, you could check out early now if you want by clicking this button. And I'm like, 6 a.m.? You're like, hey,
Get the fuck out.
get the fuck out.
Of your $250
we need more
hotel
people to be
room?
here.
Like, are you kidding me?
The smell is for the industrial aesthetic.
my God.
Also, I cannot explain how
Unsustainable.
absolutely unfinished every single piece of wood is. The bottom inch of the bathroom door is like not painted. Any place that is painted on the wall where they should have used painter's tape, there's supposed to be like a accent wall
Yeah.
that was painted.
It's like bleeding over.
It's bleeding over to the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. it was absolutely unhinged. So what has happened is while we were there, we're supposed to post our Instagram stories,
And
which
we
we
did.
did.
They were
None of them were of the rooms because it was terrible. And so literally it was a hostile environment. And so we essentially are going to email them because we're supposed to do a reel for them and be like, hey, we cannot recommend your hotel
to anyone. To my worst enemy.
To no one. On account of it was terrible.
Oh, also, you should put this in the Discord too, but there's signs or art that are like all
God.
throughout the hotel.
Oh my God.
Where we're like, what does this say? Or is it just
It's just like
art?
random letters cut out of like metal, which like could be a fun accent piece.
No,
in
you guys
somebody's-
gotta see them. They're bad.
Oh my God. Subflooring in the bathroom. It's sealed cement board. Yeah.
It's clearly subflooring.
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking.
Also,
Julie
again,
Logan.
no one was wearing masks. There was no sign being
No.
like, please wear a mask.
Nope.
Like, it's super... I don't know if it was like transphobic of them to not correctly gender you, but like it wasn't trans friendly.
Yeah.
I would not say that it is plus size friendly on account of if I was any bigger, I would not be able to get into the room because the counter's in the way.
Yeah. It was very ransom note energy. Very much so. I have no idea. Also, like, I think they do have inspections, Brave Little Taylor. I have no idea. They also, like, the art they had up, they were all on these, like, rustic, like,
They were
weird,
old windows that they, like,
they had taped.
used masking tape
Like,
to hold the pictures
clearly
in.
actual masking
Also, they're
tape.
clearly like printed on like a printer, not like actual nice photos, because there's
Right.
like waves in them of like where the ink got wet when it was
Right.
printing.
Right. So anyway, essentially I'm going to send them an email and be like, either we can make an honest review reel of your hotel, which I don't know that you want us to do, or you can let us out of that portion of the contract because it's not going to go well for any of us, because they literally said that if we don't make the reel and the
Then they're going to charge us the $700.
and they'll charge us
that the package and the room were worth.
$700. $700. No, literally $7.
Yeah. Go to bread and breakfast and a whole life guest because this gives me Horror House vibes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Zodiac Killer Core. DIY. Also, like, the room numbers are clearly, like, untreated wood, again, where they've taken, like, stencils and spray painted the numbers on, but, like, it's all bled over, so it's all, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so bad.
And we couldn't, like, not post those, like, story things, whatever, because I didn't, like, we couldn't while we were there.
Also,
be
in the
like,
contract, it did say we had to post them on the
on
days they
that
were
day,
there.
yeah. So, like, that wasn't gonna, but, like, I don't know. We thought about essentially posting the reel and then just every single person who commented privately messaging them and being like, please do not go to this place. Like, tell all your friends that it is the worst hotel in the world. Like, do not go. But I'm just afraid that they'll, like, share it and then people will think that we think it's a nice hotel. And it's not. It's terrible.
We did sign a contract with them, and they
Yes.
have our credit card info.
Right.
Because, like, when you check into a hotel
You have to
anywhere,
give them your
they
credit
make
card.
you give them a credit
In case
card.
you trash the room. Like, I didn't think it was that weird at the time. And I don't think it's weird now. It's just unfortunate because, like, I might genuinely just put my credit card on a hold. I don't know. But we talked to our friend who has been influencing for, like, a really long time. And we're basically like, what would you do? And she was like, worst case scenario, you just essentially call your credit card company and be like, hey, they didn't have air conditioning in a heat wave. And we had never said that we were going to pay this initially. Like, here's what our contract looks like. But, like, they said, so, like,
They didn't hold up their end of the bargain because
No.
they didn't give us $700 worth of experience.
No, not even slightly. So, yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking, Seven. But the problem is that, like, I feel like people should be warned that there's no air conditioning, because if you're someone who experiences any kind of chronic illness that has anything to do with temperature, like, you will die there if it's a heat wave. And the other thing that's kind of important is that, like, in general, like, Washington is not that hot. Like, it is uncommon.
No, apparently there are other hotels that don't have air conditioning there.
Right. And
but they at least say it on their website, and we looked through their
I looked
website. It doesn't
everywhere.
say anywhere that
Couldn't
they don't
find
have
anything.
AC.
They also say that they are women owned, but it is
Oh,
owned.
I forgot about this.
It's owned by a straight couple, and they have the wife listed as the CEO
Of empowerment.
the chief empowerment officer. Chief empowerment officer.
So that they can say they're woman-owned, but it looks like her husband's...
Literally, he's the one in charge of the money
one
and
in
in charge of everything
everything.
else. As far as I can tell from things that I've Googled on the internet. Genuinely. No, exactly, Cactus Games. Like exactly. We didn't promise to make a positive reel. That's the thing. And here's the other thing, and I hate to be this guy, but other companies, when they send a contract, they say, this is kind of what you have to say. They say you can't say things that are shitty. You do have to be honest. You do have to represent us and yourself well. Like, you know,
They want it to be
all
genuine.
that kind of shit. But all that this says in the contract is that we have to post it within 30 days. So literally it sounds like it's giving she's the girl boss. They also had all gender restrooms exclusively for their public restrooms, which I just cannot express. This
At first
town,
we were like, cool. And then we walked in and there was drunk sunburnt men.
so many drunk sunburnt men.
And we were like,
I as a queer person don't have the time or the emotional energy. They didn't have a men's room, a women's room, and an all gender restroom, which is what they should have had. That way, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that it felt dangerous for me to be in an all gender restroom where stressful. Do you know what I mean? Does that sound shitty?
And we were safe, but only because we both went in together. And
right. And I shouldn't have to be worried about it, particularly. And no, exactly. One for toilet, one for urinal, one for both. And that's totally fine. It's literally a whole hospitality company. That's the other thing, the bobbiest.
And the other reviews say that their other locations are
really
nice. And
right.
I just don't know if I believe
So
them.
it sounds like they bought a failing 80-room hotel, 1 bathroom, and they had 2, but they were both all gender restrooms with stalls on them essentially. And I don't know. That just doesn't work for me.
They weren't fostering the safe space required for an all-gender restroom.
Thank you. That's exactly what it is. Because that doesn't work for me in a town where, every single tourist place has a thing that says, I support the blue line and, a bunch of shit about guns. And no, and they have an elevator, but just one, and it's very small.
Money
it was
grab.
very much giving money grab. Yes. Yeah, Weasel Queen.
Everyone do their business.
One elevator. Definitely one
elevator in one of the sides. I think there was another side that didn't have an elevator.
Yeah. No elevator in the other side, yeah. I
bet they're all gender because it's more convenient not to be truly inclusive. I bet you're right.
And they had a sign that said Black Lives Matter up on their window, but it was on a piece of cardboard, essentially a white piece of poster board, scribbled in Sharpie marker. They're nicer.
They could have bought it from a black artist.
Yeah,
that said Black Lives Matter.
But they didn't. They scribbled it, and they had a pride flag that was super fucking
one elevator in
crinkled.
an 80-room hotel. It sounds like a safety hazard. Yes,
Right.
it's certainly not accessible.
This is definitely not a city that fosters an environment that would be a safe space for actually inclusive bathrooms. Exactly. And that's the other thing is I don't think any trans people are every single space should only have gender inclusive,
No.
all gender restrooms. That's not
That wouldn't be
what anyone's saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was quite a time. Anyway, we woke up the next morning. Long story short, we got out of that hotel as soon as we could.
Yeah.
And then we went and did some things around the city. And the city itself, even though it does feel like you're on the Truman Show because things are all called lawyer, shop, pharmacy. Other than that, and just the vibes being weird, we went to the Kite Museum. It was really cute.
The Kite Museum was incredible.
We went to a couple of antique stores that were definitely haunted.
Oh God, yeah.
But it was fine.
Doll room 50% off was terrifying.
Yeah.
The YouTube is going to be up. It's part of this same story basically, but you can see actual visuals of the hotel. Although I think I did a pretty good job, I will say.
I have to be so bad.
No, you're totally fine, baby.
We should start nursing those.
Yeah. Yeah, Riley, and we'll definitely keep stream updated. I don't know. My concern is that we loved the Kite Museum, Sergeant Strawberry. It was so cute. It was only $6 a person, and it was just really cute. Lots of fun photo ops. Thank you. Thanks, Leo. It was an $11 kite. It's so cute, so goofy. We really did have a lovely time. Update about the reel. Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna say. It'll definitely be in our influencer vlog that we end up making, what sort of that situation ends up looking like. I have no idea how they're gonna respond. I'm also so thrown off that they think that anyone would ever want to stay there. The idea that they could have people who they're letting stay for free to then like give like a good review and talk about it being good. Like, no, the Strawberry Museum was like the day before. That M Crab was in Portland. It was super, super cute. I think they said like a popsicle theme next for like summer. That was what I was thinking, Sparrow. That's essentially what I'm thinking is going to happen. I just have to check and make sure that we don't have any like bills that are connected to that credit card right now, because I think that's the one that has our like car insurance on it. But I think that just came out, so it should be fine. Thanks, Fuck Buns. Listen, here we are. I did, and so Alexis, I think that's essentially what I'm going to say. I'm trying to walk like a fine line between, like, I don't want it to seem like we're threatening them, because we're not. I just don't want to be in this contract anymore. Like, oh my God. No, and Leo, like, we really did have a super fun time because everything was so chaotic and nonsensical. And we love to be in a space where we can, like, bitch to each other about how unhinged everything is.
We love to look at each other with wide eyes.
Yeah, and be like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. No, absolutely, DJ. Like, for sure, we're going to be careful. Yeah, and I think the other thing that's kind of spicy, and essentially what our friend who's an influencer said is, like, it's not worth it to the brand for them to get $700 out of us that they weren't planning on getting for us to essentially, like, roast them on the internet. It's not worth it. Like, the bad publicity would get. Rosemary T3. Thank you for subscribing. T3. The other thing is that we didn't sign anything saying that they could use our pictures. Mm-hmm. Anywhere. And they took a lot of pictures of us at that. Of everyone. But those other people signed things.
Did they?
Yes. You know all the paperwork that they were filling out?
I thought that was the marriage license. They said person A and person B in them.
Right, but like why? They aren't allowed to get their marriage license for them. In the email, they said that. In the like information.
No, I think that Marsha had to fill out like I'm the officiant stuff. Remember how Dad had to fill out like I, Aaron, by the Universal.
You don't think
Life
that when
Church
they paid the $400 plus $80 for each guest that they were like, we say that you can take pictures of us or whatever?
I guess they could have. I don't know.
Regardless, they don't have any permission. No, it's a vibe. Smoke buns. Image release. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Em. So I think we've got some. Oh my God, no, it's okay, Kay. We really did have a fun time.
I would love to see like one of those like inspector guys who talk about house flippers doing bad stay in this hotel. Yeah, because it's very much landlord special. Mm-hmm. Very, very much. Okay, we should have dinner.
We have to eat dinner and stop hanging out with y'all. But
listen,
this has been
don't
wild.
be sorry.
No,
we'll keep you updated on what they say when we send this email. But
yeah.
I'm calling Chip
and
Joanna.
Oh my God, please do not Chip and Joanna. Oh my God.
We'll put a couple of videos in Discord, but again, like we are making a whole YouTube video.
The other thing, Tony, sorry, I can't fucking read, is that they never agreed to pay. Like they don't have to pay us. Like they're not going to pay us. This is something that we were doing in exchange for product, which is the other thing that our influencer friend said is essentially like there's not a lot of avenues that they can take when essentially like they were supposed to, like we weren't, there wasn't even like anything monetary that was supposed to take place basically. Yes. The Discord is for sure something you can access from our little like Instagram Linktree thingy. Yeah, for whatever reason.
It doesn't work.
Apparently on Twitch it's not been working for some folks. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know. Congratulations, Kay.
Congratulations. No, literally the Bobby is.
They did not deliver their product.
They sure fucking didn't. Okay.
I feel threatened by their product. Did
yes.
You know this comes up?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
You just found out?
Yeah.
Okay, we love you all.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I will see you guys at 8 tomorrow if you want to show up.
Yes. Oh, shit. A Popeye Schmooch. With his little pride lashes, which I think I'm just going to keep. Bye, friends.
Goodbye.
Bye.